Welcome to SpeedGaming 4. Up next, we've got Pokemon Crystal Item Randomizer. It's going to be a full item randomizer race as part of our ongoing tournament between BadNewsNate and MisterHomes. I'm one of your commentators. I am PG Weaver, also known as Glacial, and with me today I have
Rob the Gamer 115.
This is going to be a fun one, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't commentated a match in like 4 or 5 days, so I'm ready.
Yeah, so am I. I haven't commented since some of the earliest matches of this tournament, which was like last weekend. So, yeah. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I was supposed to commentate a match yesterday, but unfortunately it got canceled. So, we got tonight's match, which is going to be an important match, especially for Nate, who this is going to be their second match of the tourney. If they lose this match, then they are out. So.
Yep. I was actually commenting on their first match. It was an absolute heartbreaker. But, you know, it's Nate. You got to feel like things are going to at least play out a little bit better than last time, right?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Nate is, you know, I don't want to say old, but he's been around this community for a while, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm relatively new, and I at least have an idea of who Nate is.
Yeah, I've been involved in the community. I've gotten more involved over the last couple months, but I've been around for like a year and a half, and Nate's been around for a while. Compare that to MisterHomes, who, by his own admission, started Full Item Rando about a month ago. So,
I don't mean to cut you off, but it looks like we are just about to get started. Here we go.
All right.
So yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. Go.
All right, so the first start of any Pokemon Crystal Randomizer is they're going to be setting their settings, they're going to check the item with Mom, they're going to get their starter, and then they're going to be off to the races. It looks like Mom has a TM, which is always a coin flip in my opinion. I think we have it set so that 25% of all moves are guaranteed to be good, and that includes TM moves. So this is always a chance. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, or it's just sleep talk.
Or it's just
is, well, you know what? It's money.
It is money, yeah. Oh, there's a Heracross.
Heracross, I like it. Snubble, nope. Alright, so the Heracross is where you go, right?
Yeah, so you take the Heracross here. I mean, Tyranitar and Granbull are good Pokemon.
But you're not going to level up a Larvitar all the way to Tyranitar.
No, not at all.
And I don't know what level Snubble evolves into Granbull, but I imagine that's mid to late 20s.
If I remember correctly, Snubble evolves into Granbull at... It is 23, I believe.
Yeah, even that's still yuck.
Ooh, did you see that? Did you take a look at that moveset? I only caught one move, but it was Iron Tail.
I did not see the moveset. I was looking at the item that the Heracross was holding, which was a Miracle Seed. Not useful.
No, but
alright, let's see. We got... Nope, we're running. Hey, speaking of T-Tar.
So that's not a terrible thing to see. It's Razor Leaf, Spiderweb, Flame Wheel was the other core move. So Iron Tail is probably the only move there that's like even worth using. Speaking of TM coin flips, there's another TM on the route. I'm not in love with this Heracross to begin with. Heracross is a good Pokemon. Its moveset is very not.
I am always a fan of special mains over physical, and Heracross is very much a physical main. So, you know, would I run the Heracross? Yeah, if there's nothing else, but let's see what's on 30 and 31 before you make that call, you know?
I mean, that's fair. It's one of those interesting things. I think he might want that Tyranitar. I've heard a couple of different opinions on it. A lot of people say that special is better than physical. I've heard that physical is better than special, in specifically Crystal. I don't know which one's which. I think it really comes down to personal preference.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and try to say that special is better than physical. I'm just going to say that I personally prefer special over physical. And the reason, at least for me, and this is going to be a weird reason, is I'm terrible. Was that Fly, by the way, just for Nate?
That was Fly.
Oh, wow. Okay. I just was talking, and I saw O2, and I was like, was that TM or HM?
That was HMO. That was Fly.
For me personally, one of the things, I've played Pokemon for about 16 years of my life, and I still do not know the type charts. And for me, wow, Surf too.
Okay.
For me, it's easier to visualize what special moves do than what physical moves do. Like, I can think electric and be like, okay, that's going to be super effective on water. That's going to be super effective on flying.
Yeah.
Whereas you ask me what poison's good on or not good on, and I don't know any of it.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. It's just it's an interesting sort of dichotomy. I feel like the type chart makes more sense on the special side, at least before the physical special split. But it really comes down to what you're most comfortable with. I'm getting to the point where I'll run pretty much anything. I've defeated Red with a Yanma before. That was fun.
What?
Yeah.
With a Yan? Oh
it was the Lugia. It had Drill Peck and no, it had Mega Horn. So like, you had to give it a shot, right? Not really the point of this, but that does bring a good segue into talking about what's going on. The runners are going to be setting up here for a little bit. They're going to make their way up to Violet City. They're probably going to check Ruins of Alph Cave, and then they're probably going to start on the tower, assuming nothing incredible shows up.
Yeah.
So while that time's going on, let's take a quick minute to sort of explain what exactly they're doing and what their end goal is.
Yep.
So first and foremost, the ultimate goal of Pokemon Crystal Randomizer, at least with these settings, is that they are looking to defeat Red. And Red has got himself holed up at the top of Mount Silver and is generally just being antisocial and staying away from everybody. The only way up there is to recover all 16 badges, which are spread randomly throughout the world, as well as make your way over to Pallet Town over in Western Kanto. And to do that, you're going to need a couple more items.
Yeah, so the main thing they're going to be getting is all 16 badges. They're going to need Pokegear, they're going to need a radio card, an expansion card. And if they're not too familiar with the end game, they may also need the HM for Flash. But that's kind of a soft need.
Yep, and in my experience, the HM for Flash shows up anyways. Ooh, that's interesting. So, quick aside, MisterHomes found the Silver Wing inside the first check of Dark Cave. You can do that one without Flash and without any other items, so it's just a quick pickup. The Silver Wing has one job. It spawns the Lugia encounter in the basement of the Whirl Islands. That encounter is level 60, and if you can get your hands on it and it is a remotely decent Pokemon, it's a very good choice to run. That's going to come way later.
Yeah, the only issue is that in order to have even a chance at running it, you're going to need to get Fog Badge, you're going to need to get Glacier Badge, you're going to need to get the HM Whirlpool.
Yep. Most of those tend to the badges are guaranteed to show up, though. So really what they need to find is Whirlpool and have a reason to go down there. So we'll keep an eye on that as the game sort of progresses.
So let's talk about their possible mains at the moment, because right now, Nate's got an interesting choice in Kabutops. Which, with Stab Surf, you know, kind of works, I guess. I don't know if Kabutops is more physical or special, though, do you?
I want to say
physical. I'm looking it up.
So Kabutops is definitely a physical attacker. It's much stronger physically. I just don't like Kabutops as a running Pokemon because of its type.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess because with it being a rock-water type, it's gonna have a hard time against some of the more common types you see.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if that's what you can find, I can be honest. Between both runners, I have not seen a single Pokemon where I'm like, oh, that's your main. Like, we haven't seen too many good things, unless you want to count the T-Tar, I guess, but...
The Tyranitar would have been good because it's a pseudo-legendary, so of course it's going to be good.
Yeah.
The Crobat... So, Here's the thing with Crobat. Crobat is fast, which is very helpful. It's not particularly strong, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think its best attacking stat is attack, and it's like base power 90. Oop,
there's the pass. We got Kanto access.
Yep. So all of that we've been saying kind of just goes out the window now, because at this point, their mains are not going to be their mains for long. Mm-hmm. All that they want to do right now is they want to make their way over to Goldenrod, take the magnet train over to Kanto, and from Kanto, depending on the items you've got, you can find Pokemon all the way up to level 38.
Yeah. So MisterHomes is doing Sprout Tower. If I was in their position right now, I wouldn't even be doing Sprout Tower. I would literally beat Faulkner, because you have to beat Faulkner in order to get going, and then rush to Goldenrod, basically skipping all of Azalea. It's gonna be a little risky because, yeah, you might be skipping vital checks, but at the same time, you're gonna get a way higher level main, and you're gonna be able to get moving faster. Not to mention, you can still do, like, Alex Forest checks. You can still do Union Cave and Route 32.
Yeah, it's definitely a riskier strategy, but it's not that risky. You miss, I think, 6 checks in Sprout Tower, you'll miss 6 in Azalea, and then depending on how long you hang around Goldenrod, you probably only will miss maybe another 6 there. There's the 2 in the gym, and then the 4 on the... Oh, there's a Raikou. And then the 4 on the route north of the gym. So that's 18 checks, which is a lot, but as long as none of them are your Storm Badge, it's actually not particularly punishing, because they've already found HMO2.
Yeah, and not only that, but, like, even if one of them does end up being Storm Badge, neither of them have a main that I would personally be really happy with right now. And honestly, I think you might have a faster time doing it the other way. That Raikou had, what was that, Thunder Punch? Yeah, it has Thunder Punch. Huh. Well, I guess Nate found a possible main for a bit. I'm liking that. And that Raikou seems to be everywhere, because MisterHomes just found a second one. Now, the first one he killed, I don't know if he killed it on purpose or if he's trying to lower its HP to catch it.
Oh, he saw the drill pack and he's like, yes, please give me that. That Thunder Punching Raikou is both good and bad, because Thunder Punch is like the second best electric move you can get, and electric is an amazing type for type coverage.
Yeah.
Because it handles water so well.
Yeah.
But, going back to all of this, it almost doesn't matter after probably the 30 or 40 minute mark, because it doesn't matter if they start running the Raikou. It's still going to show up, it's still going to be like at max if they do everything between here and Goldenrod. It's going to be like at max level 21-ish, because it's the legendary and therefore on the very slow level.
Yeah, I don't even think it's going to be 21, probably closer to like 18 or 19.
Yeah, and then they're going to go to Kanto, and they're going to find something in Kanto. And it doesn't matter if what they find in Kanto isn't as good as a Raikou that has Stab Thunder Punch, because it's going to be like 17 levels higher at minimum. And the amount of stats you get just from levels is going to make that change worth it.
Now, what I find interesting is, I know, for me at least in Sprout Tower, I almost never repel Sprout Tower. And the reason is the encounter rate in Sprout Tower is very low. You could go the entire length of Sprout Tower and not see a single wild Pokemon. That being said, both of them found Raikou.
Yeah, and I will repel Sprout Tower just because even though the encounter rate is incredibly low, there's so much you have to walk through Sprout Tower that I, like, always tend to run into at least 2 Pokemon, and once I have a Pokemon I'm happy with, I'm going to just gun it until I get to a place that has a higher level Pokemon, and I know is higher level.
Yeah, not using the repel in Sprout Tower like I do, it's a gamble. But I know at least the reason I do it is because the first 20 or 30 minutes, you're kinda tight on money, so saving just a single repel can help, or 2 repels.
Yeah, and it helps if you pick up a couple of the hidden items between home and here so you can sell them, because if you find something like a stone or a PP up or a vitamin, those sell for a ton of money, and then you're not quite as worried about it. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, just like most of Crystal, there is definitely no correct way to do it, because there are so many ways to handle different situations. Like, for example, I said I wouldn't even be doing Sprout Tower right now, and yet both of them still are. So there's so many ways you can do everything in Crystal, and that's one of the reasons why I love watching these matches and participating.
Yeah, and there's something else that's worth considering. I don't know if either runner has this in mind immediately, but one thing that they could use that would give them access to a very strong Pokemon very quickly is if either of them find the Fog Badge. Because if you don't know, in pretty much all of the water around Johto, even the ones where like the grass encounters are level 3 and 4, if you can surf into that water, you'll find level 20s.
I know, early game, if you can get surf, just find something on Route 30, or even in Cherry Grove, that works. Or, ideally, what they want at this point is if they get Fog Badge, they can get a main in Vermilion Harbor in Kanto, which you can be a little higher level than Cyclone Road.
Yep, that's where you find the level 38s and 39s, so...
Now, I believe Holmes is in the lead, because Nate has not done Faulkner yet, I believe, right?
Nah, I don't think he has either.
Okay, so Holmes has a slight lead, but it is small.
It's small, but it's not necessarily inconsequential, because, again, there's 2 or 3 items that they could find that would just slingshot them ahead, and some decisions that could be made as well. Again, rushing that Kanto main is kind of a big deal, because any fight that you do that's this early in the game, if you do it and it takes more than 1 hit for each Pokemon, you are losing time if you instead could have had a Kanto main to do this fight at level 36 and just one-shot everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know if everybody thinks that way, but that's kind of something to keep in mind. Of course, the trade-off is, if you do that encounter and you find something important, like, say, the machine part, the Fog Badge, the Storm Badge, something like that, then that's definitely worth doing. So you kind of have to just take the gamble and see whatever you think is right.
Yeah. A lot of Crystal ends up being educated guesses and gambles. As what I mean, of course, you also have to know your stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's all luck. You have to know your stuff. But I think you'd be crazy to say that luck has no factor in this.
Absolutely. Speaking of luck, oh,
that was a bad crit.
Ooh, yeah, no, that did not go well. That's not what I was gonna say in that, but I lost my train of thought, so we're just gonna pretend that's what I meant anyway.
Speaking of bad luck, you're just omnipresent. Now, the last match that I commentated, I made a bold prediction during the match, and it ended up coming true.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
curious. So the last time, I predicted that the Kimono Girls would have Clear Bell, and I was correct.
That is an incredibly specific guess.
Yes, it was. The situation was they were in Ekritique, they had the Rainbow Wing. And I don't know, something told me, I was like, watch, Clear Bell's gonna be on Kimono Girls, and it was.
Was that TM Ice Beam?
Yeah, if that was Ice Beam, I'm starting to really like this Raikou. With Surf, Ice Beam, Thunder Punch. Although,
I would not
do
Raikou.
Yeah, now that I think about it, if it's Ice Beam, I would save that for your other main.
Yeah, no, you save that until you get to Kanto.
Yeah.
Unless you absolutely need it.
They probably won't. Alright, so Holmes cleaning up some bag space, doing some shopping. Meanwhile, Nate going to go fight Faulkner himself. Alright, let's see what's on 32.
Yep, there is 3 checks here, and then there's going to be another 6 inside of Union Cave.
Yep.
These are pretty easy checks. Like, I don't think anybody has ever... Oh, hello. Hold on. We have a winner.
Oh, boy.
So remember what I was saying about Surf and level 20s?
Holmes is just going straight back for a main.
Yeah, I think Holmes has realized it too. There's 2 checks up here as well.
Or yeah, they might just be doing the Violet City checks too.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that that's definitely a good thing to stop and get anyways, because you don't want to have to come back here if something like your fly is back here. And even if it isn't, it took him, what, all of 10 seconds to turn around and come back to the city? This is still definitely the right play.
And what I would do is go one step further and save well in here and go back and at least check Cherry Grove. There's Flash.
There is Flash. So, for anybody who doesn't know, Flash has the potential to be required. It logically locks a bunch of items, but it only hard locks 4. In the Ruins of Alph, there's a chamber that requires you to use Flash to access the backward.
Yeah. So Flash is going to be helpful, but it's not... well, yeah, let me rephrase that. Flash could potentially be necessary. I was about to say that backwards.
Yeah. So at this point, Mr. Holmes... First off, let's see what his first level 20 encounter is. Oh, right, it's an Eevee. Duh, it's not his first. And it's only level 60, which is kind of disappointing. So at this point, he's got a choice. He can either go back to his regularly scheduled programming and head down to Union Cave, which will have a couple of extra checks for him now that he has Surf, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. I personally, given how easy and quick it is to get back to Cherry Grove, I probably would have saved and checked the Mystic Water guy, but that's just me.
Yeah, I would have checked the Mystic Water guy. I may have even gone all the way back to Toho.
That's always an interesting one, because the further you go back, the more likely it is that you're going to want to keep whatever you find. And that always just gets annoying to me if you're checking the item, the rare candy item south of Tojo Falls, and it's something that, like, you don't need it right now, like the machine part. But you're like, okay, if I don't take this now, and I need the machine part later, especially because I've already found half of Flash and all of Surf, do I need to come... And then you're just sort of going like, I don't know if I need to take this now or not, and take the time loss of going back.
Yeah, the issue basically is it's a gamble, because down there could be nothing. Could be a key item where you have to struggle, and if you keep it, it could be Storm Badge.
Yeah, so. Well, once you see it, you know that it's Storm Badge. Speaking of badges, Mr. Holmes has already found 2 badges here. He's found both the Earth Badge and the Thunder Badge. They're required to beat the Seed, but unless there's only 7 badges locked behind the Rocket Tower event, they're not actually hard required at this moment. They're still very nice to find, though. Meanwhile, BadNewsNate has made the decision to go all the way back to the Mystic Water guy. So let's see what it is that Mr. Holmes has passed on.
Clear Bell.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. What else is interesting that I just noticed? Oh, I think Mr. Holmes just realized their mistake is doing the basement of Union. I thought they were about to accidentally go right past it, but looks like they've realized that they can do those 2 chucks now, and they're going to.
Yep, and again, down here, there's some really strong Pokemon.
Yeah, it's what, level 21 or so?
Yep, it's the same as most of the other water around here, so it's like gonna be level 18 to like level 23 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Nick decided that the Clear Bell was enough for him. He doesn't need to go all the way back to Tojo Falls, especially because he did find the Clear Bell. He could have saved again and then checked Tojo and reset the Clear Bell check, but you know.
I guess, but I think it's one of those things where, you know, what are the odds of a key item being in 3 checks? Well, what are the odds of 2 key items being in 3 checks? It's like, you start getting in your head, it's like, well, that's unlikely.
So the funny thing about that, just a quick nerd side moment here, is that how's that stroke taste? The 2 key items and 3 checks thing is actually the wrong way to think about it.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, when you're in the moment, that might be how you're thinking about it.
Oh, you're absolutely right. But statistically, once you've revealed the first check, it's no longer 2 key items and 3 checks. It's 1 key item in 2 checks, because they're completely discrete from each other. It's an interesting sort of statistics thing, but, you know, not really relevant here because he didn't go for it.
Did that Ghastly have Rock Smash? Like, taught? Yep.
It does have Rock Smash.
That's the most backwards way I've seen someone get Rock Smash. I've had worse,
but he has Rock Smash, which is going to be situationally useful. Rock Smash only locks a couple of checks. There's like 3 in Dark Cave, and there's 1 in the Burn Tower. And then you can get a shortcut in the Ice Path.
Yep.
Oh, see, that's what it was. He didn't forget the basement. He was setting his escape rope point.
Okay, I like it, actually, then. I like it. That's a smarter play than what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Right. I like it.
So that Rock Smash is going to be a big advantage if BadNewsNate doesn't also catch a Ghastly here, and there's something behind Rock Smash. Otherwise, it's kind of just going to be a waste of time if he goes for it.
Yeah, and the most likely way that that's going to be an advantage is if they go Kanto, then they find the SS ticket. That ends up being their way into Upper Johto. And then from there, they get some Burn Tower.
And of course, all of this is completely irrelevant if the next check they find is the Squirt Bottle, because the Squirt Bottle is what locks Rock Smash normally.
Yep. Or just, TM08 they find. We'll just have to wait and see. Nate's going ahead, finishing off Union.
Is there anything more insulting than TM08 being found behind the Rock Smash boulder in the Burn Tower, by the way?
I want to say yes, but I don't have a good answer.
Because that happened to me recently, and I was so offended.
Yeah, that's kind of bad. That's one of those things where usually you can't find an item behind what it would unlock. Like you're never gonna find strength behind a strength boulder. That's just not logically possible.
Right.
But because of the status of Rock Smash and being able to buy it, that is a very unique case where that could happen. So yeah, I think I agree with you. If it's behind one of those Rock Smash checks, that would be unfortunate.
Yeah, but it's all kind of just random speculation on our part at this point. Neither of them is skipping Azalea. I kind of like this decision, just because I've never skipped Azalea and had it pay off. Every time I skipped Azalea, something important has been.
I guess. It's one of those things where, again, it's all comes down to gambles, I will say, them being able to get a level 22 for now, that would make me less likely to skip Azalea, because if you get a level 20-something, whether it's a Ghastly or even this Weeping Bell, for example, that's gonna one-shot more things than your current main.
It's going to one-shot pretty much everything in the cave as long as it has at least 1 or 2 good moves.
Yeah, so... And this Ghastly, it's working. Although, the Ghastly was just victim to,
I think that was Destiny Bond.
Destiny Bond, yeah, that's an interesting strat. Alright, level 14 has Destiny Bond.
I don't think it was an intentional strat, I think it's just what ended up happening.
No, I'm saying strat on the AI's behalf.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
If I'm going down, you're going down with me. We'll have to see if Nate gets Destiny Bonded as well.
It's not a bad strategy. I had a seed a couple months back where I found one of the first things I caught was a Blastoise at level 3 and it knew Destiny Bond. That thing took out more level 37s than I can tell you, because it took down at least 6 because of a combination of 2-turn moves and inaccurate moves just missing. It was absolutely hysterical.
Hey, am I here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I think my internet just, completely decided to give up for a couple seconds there. I thought my whole laptop crashed.
Well, you're still here, so.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still watching. Okay. That has me nervous now.
So MisterHomes is just charging his way through Bugsy's gym. It's 6 Pokemon, including Bugsy, I believe. So not a particularly long encounter, and the experience is not bad for getting through the rival. The rival is not an easy fight. It's not hard. I mean, especially in Randomizer where you can have, a Mewtwo with Psychic within the first round if you're lucky. But it's still worth looking at.
That might be my issue. I think the internet on my Ethernet is out, so I think it just got switched over to Wi-Fi. Weird. But yeah, let's see how Bugsy goes. Hopefully Bugsy gives something, because nothing worse than doing all of Azalea for literally no reason.
Well, there's nothing yet, but there's still 2 more checks that you would have missed if you skipped Azalea.
Well, even 4, because if there ends up being stuff in the deeper part of Slowpoke well, you have to have done at least the rocket section. At least parts of the rocket section.
But they need strength first, so that's kind of irrelevant for the moment.
Yeah, it's irrelevant now. Not only do they need strength, they need the plane badge, so.
This Ghastly is unironically really, really strong. Because Ghastly, like, has just a ridiculous special attack base, even for a first stage evolution. And it's got Surf and Bite. The only thing I don't like about it is that he has to hold on to Rock Smash on it, so he's basically got a dead slot.
But here's the thing, is after this fight, he doesn't have to use the Ghastly in combat again. Like, logically, you could just easily do pretty much every other Kanto or Johto check at the moment, with the exception of Whitney's Gym, and not do a single fight, and then go to Kanto and get a new name. So
there's one fight in the underground that you have to do.
I guess, but you could also just as easily delay that a little bit.
That's fair. Yeah, so he's basically, if he's thinking about it, he's basically done with the exception of 1 or 2 more fights if he wants to push for all of the items in Goldenrod until he can get to the harbor and try and catch something really good.
Yep. That's what I'm excited for, is when we actually see the good harbor mains and we get to find out what they actually are named. Instead of this pretense, you know?
And Azalea was barren.
Yeah, it happens. That's why you skip Azalea. At least in my opinion.
Last 2 checks were an escape rope and an old rod.
Now, you could fish up a Pokemon.
Yeah, but it's level 10 and they're already past that.
Yeah. Rising badge, another badge coming up. We're up to, what, 4 badges now? Alright.
Yeah. Fog, Rising, Thunder, Earth.
Yep. There you go. So, you know, a quarter of the way there.
BadNewsNate showing just a little bit more experience in using an escape rope to get out of the forest, as opposed to MisterHomes, who ran back.
Yep. Now, Nate is still a little bit behind. Oh, there's our Storm badge.
And there's your Storm badge.
That changes things.
It actually doesn't, in my opinion. You're still going straight to Kanto. You're still going to go ahead and you're going to look for a main. What you do next could open up a little bit, but honestly, at this point, you have Fly. I would probably skip the Goldenrod checks and go straight to Kanto.
Yeah.
You fly straight back to Goldenrod now.
That's the thing that it changes, is earlier I was saying, you know, maybe you do Whitney, maybe you do the underground check. Now I would definitely skip it. Wait, Nate's only just now doing Bugsy's Gym?
Yep.
Oh, Nate's further behind than I thought.
Yeah, Nate made the decision that I kind of like, where as opposed to doing the gym first, you go and do the rival first, and then you get the cut check from catching the Farfetch'd. That lets you do both the gym and the charcoal check pretty much at the same time because they're right next to each other. It just saves on a little bit of back checking. Not much, but I think it's more efficient, so I prefer to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, and it's one of the things that I've learned from this tournament that I will try to continue doing. So yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, I would definitely skip at least Whitney's Gym in the Underground for now, because it is going to be so much easier to come back to Goldenrod. You only have to ride that tram once now, so.
Yep. And looking at the TM selection in the Mart, there's not a ton of good moves here. It had Sharpen as opposed to Swords Dance. That's a little bit disappointing. I'm not actually even sure that that one could have been Swords Dance. I just know that reading it, my first thought is, ooh, is that Swords Dance?
Alright, let's see what the basement has. Money item? Okay. So what items... So you have surf access, you have fly access. You're only about half an hour in. What's the next big thing you want to find? Probably either Squirt Bottle or SS Ticket like we just found.
Yeah, so that was... it was going to probably be the SS Ticket, just because we've already found Fly. So,
yeah,
while it's not guaranteed that Northern Johto was locked out of having Fly when they were doing placements, you were probably going to find the SS Ticket before you found the Squirt Bottle, just because you already had Fly. At least, that's how I've noticed a bunch of seeds going. If you find Fly early, the Squirt Bottle's probably buried, or the SS, or the Pass is probably buried. One of the two.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it's obviously not a hard and fast rule. It's just my own personal experience.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I would definitely do before going into Kanto is pick up
Run into an optional. Nate's got you covered.
Well, I was going to say pick up Kanya, so. Just so that way, you at least start the Kenya sequence.
Yeah, and it looks like MisterHomes is covering everything here, which is not a bad move. I mean, it's not going to be any faster to go straight to Kanto and then come back, because you're not doing any fighting here. Except for that one fight, which we mentioned, but that fight is easy enough to just blitz completely through, because I think its strongest Pokemon is like level 7.
Yep. And it looks like Holmes is going to continue and do the other checks up here, too.
He's got
Which
Fly.
makes sense.
No reason not to.
Yeah, you can fly, so go for it. In fact, I'm very interested. If I was Holmes, and this is kind of like another weird, hard to say moment, this is when I would be checking Cherry Blue. This is when I would be checking Tojo Falls. Like,
ooh, that's interesting.
or if you're Nate, he's checking Rising Badge check for Machine Part.
Yep, Nate went just far enough into Goldenrod to get the Fly Point, and then flew back to check the Rising Badge check, which normally gives you the Master Ball, but in this instance, gave him the Machine Part. That's really good, because with Surf, and probably not needing Flash, it's Nate, he's good enough, he can just immediately go and turn that in.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Mr. found the Cascade Badge.
Yeah. The only thing I will comment on, Nate, is I know if it was me, I probably would have gone and done the 2 checks at Tojo at the same time. Volcano Badge. We're finding a lot of the Kanto badges early.
Did
Already at
someone
79.
Kanto die in this park? What is going on?
We're 2 for 2 on badges in the park. Will we be 3 for 3?
Survey says, no, it's a TM. Doesn't matter, though, because that was badge number 7, and that gives him another option, which I hope he doesn't take.
Yeah, Rocket Tower would be an interesting play. I wouldn't recommend it, but I guess you could do it. There's Zephyr Badge for Kenya.
That's actually kind of hilarious. Because now he has Flash, and he has Rock Smash. He's going back into Dark Cave.
Yeah.
I actually, because he has the Rock Smash, I actually kind of like this play.
No, I love it.
He's still putting off Kanto, but he's putting off Kanto in such a way that he's still not having to do any fights.
Yeah. No, this is smart. Now, I will be noting that these checks are out of logic because of the way he got Rock Smash, but that's kind of irrelevant. But it's just something to keep in mind, that it's possible that Squirt Bottle's not in logic. It's possible that TM for Rock Smash is not in logic. It's possible that these checks are never in logic.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that there's nothing back here that is actually necessary.
Yeah, but
especially because it's going to sort of drop him out right next to your starting city, and hopefully that makes him think, I should just fly back there and turn in this badge and then do the Tojo Falls attacks. Yeah. Like, I think he's doing a big loop, which, if you don't have Fly, this is actually a really efficient way to do this loop. So I like it. He has Fly, so it's kind of not less efficient, it's just not as efficient. But yeah. I think he's probably going to do all of this, and then hopefully one of them goes to Kanto, and we can see what possible Kanto mains there are.
Alright, it looks like Holmes is doing a Chargrove check. That'll be a Cascade badge. Or that'll be a Clear Bell, my bad.
Yeah, that's the Clear Bell check, which is potentially important, but only as soon as the Rainbow Wing shows up. And I know that at least some runners are also hoping that they'll see the key card before they have.
I think Holmes is doing the Zephyr badge check. Yep, that's another good one.
It's just a bunch of one-off little checks that they're not bad to be doing, but he has, like...
And Flash Chamber. Nice.
Okay, yeah. I take it back. I forgot about the Flash Chamber.
I did as well. You're not used to seeing Flash Chamber this early. That's why. But yeah, go for it.
Yeah, thank you. It's not bad. It's just not as good. That's what I meant to say. That sentence got away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not an eloquent talker, okay? You're gonna have to... Ooh, there's Waterfall. You're gonna have to deal with me. Mr. Holmes is just making all the good checks because now he's got the Rising badge and he still hasn't checked Tojo Falls. He can go... yeah, he has found another badge. He can go all the way to Victory Road now. And again, it would only be with one fight. But before he does that, I want to see him go and get a main, and it looks like... yeah, okay, it looks like he is.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because they got Waterfall, they got Rising badge. Wow! They could just go the whole way to Victory Road. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, he can go all the way to Victory Road and find a main there if he wanted. But there's a fight before the Victory Road that I wouldn't want to do with this with this Ghastly. I mean, you probably could get away with it if the Pokemon you're fighting is weak, but I wouldn't want to do it with the Ghastly. So I want to see him grab something here, and if it's really good, stick with it for the rest of the fight, unless maybe the Lugia turns up naturally and is really good. Otherwise, take just something, go do that fight, and head to the Elite Four. You can almost always find something worth running in the Victory Road because there's so many encounters there. I've got the hiccups.
It's all good. But yeah, it looks like Nate is going to be getting Waterfall as well, as he's also doing the Flash Chamber.
Yeah, and it's a strong play, and I think what they're doing is they're just getting a bunch of the, well, the logic is leading me here checks out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
Yeah, when it comes to me and how ooh, hold up, did we lose Mr. Holmes?
It's been hiccuping a little bit. Let's just switch the audio.
All right. Hopefully Mr. Holmes is still going and hasn't crashed or something. Oh, no, he's back. Okay,
yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, because I know it happened when Nate was... and paused a couple times, but...
Yeah. So in my experience with doing these, my thoughts are that the way that I like to play them is get your breakout item, find the best main you can get. Oh, there's interesting. So that is the check that Mr. Holmes chose to skip. Returning the Kenya got you HM01. Wow. If the Hive badge shows up and Nate finds it and Mr. Holmes doesn't remember to go back to the Kenya, because he was moving towards it and then decided not to finish, that might be important. But the Kenya check's a pretty memorable one, so I expect to see it.
Now, you know what would be interesting? I'm not necessarily saying if this is a good play or a bad play. I think it's a good play. After getting their Kanto main, just go on the SSN.
I actually kind of like that. I want to see them turn in the machine part. I want to see Nate turn in the machine part first, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, but that would be the smart thing to... It's a hard thing to say. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
They're both looking for their main right now. So the thing with these encounters in the harbor, they're a little bit different from the rest of the game. In the rest of the game, there is a level 3 encounter slot, and that encounter is always going to be level 3, and it's always going to be whatever it was randomized to. My understanding for these encounters is that there's 3 slots here. There's 3 different Pokemon, and they can be level 35 up to plus 4. So they can be anywhere between level 35 and level 39. But they're always going to be the same 3 Pokemon. So you can see a level 35 Yanma and then go, well, I want a Yanma for some reason, but level 35, I know that there's up to level 39 here, or maybe level 38. So let's see if I can find another Yanma instead.
Yep. Meanwhile, Holmes caught a Golduck and is off. Now the Golduck, it'll have Stab Surf, which is nice. The rest of its moveset, I didn't see anything good. There you go, Kingdra! Oh!
Yeah. Kingdra is my absolute favorite Pokemon to run in these randomizers because it gets Stab Surf, it is incredibly strong, and it has one weakness to Dragon, which only has 2 good attacking moves in this gen. There's Outrage and there's Dragon Breath. If you don't have Outrage and Dragon Breath, then your Kingdra is basically unkillable. And also, it's a balanced attacker, so it can learn physical and special. And it's got Swords Dance.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good main. Kingdra, you said Kingdra is your favorite. It's not my number 1, but it's in my top 5. It's really solid.
It's my favorite to run in Crystal Randomizers. It's not my favorite Pokemon of all, that's Gardevoir, but it's a very solid Pokemon to run in this randomizer. And I'm very, even though MisterHomes has the advantage in terms of checks done, the items BadNewsNate has found combined with that Kingdra, I want to say this puts BadNewsNate slightly in the lead because that Golduck is not going to carry him nearly as far as the Kingdra will, I don't think.
Yeah, I think anyone would agree. The Kingdra is going to be better than. I didn't see what the Kingdra's moveset was other than teaching Surf.
So Drill Peck, Swords Dance, and the last one was... I remember this. Give me a moment.
Well, while you're trying to think, Drill Peck's also a really good move. That's an awesome flying move. Low Kick? Okay.
Yeah.
Low Kick's a decent fighting move. Not the best, I believe, but it's alright.
Yes.
Swords Dance, that can be really, really nice.
Since you're sitting on Swords Dance, running it as a 2-1 physical special split, this moveset is honestly really good. The only thing I'd kind of like to see is potentially upgrading the low kick to a better physical move. But Surf, a better physical move, and then Drill Peck and Swords Dance, I would almost say that this Kingdra is basically done and is ready to just carry him to the end of the game.
So chat's actually saying that Golduck and Kingdra have the same attack and speed. So that's actually interesting.
Yeah, you're right. Golduck's special attack is 95 and Kingdra's stats are 95 across the board. So they do have the same stats. I just...
I think the one thing that the Kingdra also has is the type advantage.
Yeah, the type advantage.
It being dragon type.
The type advantage is a big one, and also the fact that it can use physical moves, whereas Golduck's physical, I want to say, is like 78 or something. It's 82. It's not as good. It can kind of do it, I guess, but you really want to kind of keep the special attacks with the Golduck, so this is going to be interesting. That said, Water is a good type. Like, Water Dragon is objectively a better type, but Water is a very good type because it's bulky, it doesn't have too many weaknesses, and it has a lot of resists.
Alright. Well, this is what you wanted, I believe, right? Is for need to be checking here and going up this way.
Yes. If you have Surf, Flash, and the machine part,
that's a good sign. And Kanto access, yeah.
Yeah, this is 6 checks, and it almost feels like the seed is saying, hey, go do this.
It's more than 6 if you just count the extension of machine part 2. Because that gets you a check in Lavender, that gets you the Misty's Gym check,
and the one
gets you Vermilion. So yeah. I would not be surprised if Nate found something. I don't know what. It might just be a Kanto badge, but I have a feeling we're going to see something. Although, there was nothing in the cave itself.
Yeah, but you also only have to do the rock tunnel once now because you have an item. I am kind of a big proponent of doing rock tunnel out of logic, even if you don't have Flash or Surf or the machine part. But it's always kind of annoying when you do it and then you have to come back later and go through the entirety of rock tunnel again.
I definitely
in the dark.
I definitely agree with doing it out of logic if you don't have Flash. It gets really harder if you don't have Surf or machine part, in my opinion. But I would still do it, yeah. Wait, when did Holmes get the secret potion? I missed that.
It was the item south of Goldenrod that you have to surf to, I believe.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
wait, that might have been the seed I just did.
Oh.
I was doing a seed before we started. Oh, it was the Olivine Fisherman. Okay.
Oh.
That's actually hilarious.
Well, that's awesome because now you only have to do one trip on the lighthouse.
Yeah, although given that the secret potion only locks one check, you generally only have to do one climb up the lighthouse anyways.
Yeah, but you never know. Also, isn't it 2 checks? Doesn't Jasmine give 2?
Yeah, she does. That's fair. It's a lot more valuable in key item randomizer, where you're guaranteed to get a key item off of her.
Yep.
But I'm willing to do lighthouse without secret potion pretty much always because there's.
Oh yeah. Do lighthouse without secret potion. I would never delay a lighthouse just because I don't have the secret potion. I'm just saying it's nice because now you know you don't have to do 2 trips.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nate's grabbing leftovers.
No, he's not. His bag's full.
Well, yeah, once he empties out his bag, get rid of that upgrade. You don't need it. Who's evolving a Porygon? Not us.
I didn't see anything off the machine part, but I don't think he's done the checks that the machine part have opened.
I think he did both the lavender one and the vermilion one. I don't think he's gone up to Cerulean.
Did he? I was distracted by the lighthouse, so.
I think. I could be mistaken.
Ooh, there's an attack that may cause paralysis. So that could be Thunderbolt, and that could be big.
Jasmine's packing a Mewtwo.
Thunder! That's so annoying.
Yeah.
You want that one to be Thunderbolt, because Thunderbolt is just better than Thunder. It just is.
Yeah. Thunderbolt is, like, ranking the electric moves, Thunderbolt, Thunder Punch, Thunder. I don't know if there's any other ones that are relevant.
No, it's
Snap Cannon, I guess. Like, I don't know.
It's Thunderbolt, Thunder Punch, and the rest of them don't exist. Maybe Spark, but the rest of them don't exist. Man, the runners are just completely separate from each other at this point. They are nowhere close. I like Mr. Holmes' decision to take his main into North Johto because he is going to want to get some experience and some stat XP on that thing.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of fights up there that he can just stomp his way through. This Girafarig is giving him trouble, though.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, that's one of the things about... that's one of the other things is, do you do Upper Johto? Do you do Kanto? In this kind of a situation, I would almost certainly be doing what Holmes is doing and prioritize Upper Johto. Especially because they already have Fly. If we were still missing Storm Badge, I'd be in Kanto until that Storm Badge comes up. Almost no matter what. But with Storm Badge and Fly being obtained, it almost doesn't matter whether you do Upper Johto first or Kanto first. So I would do Upper Johto first.
I think there's just more raw checks in Upper Johto at this point that like they can do easily.
Yeah.
And we'll get the stat experience, which is a big one.
You got Rocket Hideout that you can do. That's so many checks right there.
Yeah, but it's basically down to runner preference and what you think is probably the most efficient use of your time. Mm-hmm. They have Surf, they have Waterfall, so Mount Mortar is entirely open as well. And Mount Mortar is the most checked institution in the game. It's 20 checks.
Yeah, that's a lot of mortar.
Smoochum always looks so angry. I'd be angry if I was going to be a Jinx one day too. Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
That's one way to think of it, I guess. I never thought that Smoochum looked angry. I always thought Smoochum looked like pouty, which is a little different than angry. Or even like sassy. Alright. So this has been... I've commentated a few matches. I've talked to a lot of people. So I need to know your opinion on 2 things.
Okay.
Morty and Kimono Girls. Are they scams? Are they not? Is one a scam and the other not? Where do you stand on this?
Oh, this is an interesting one because I've also heard a lot of opinions, and in fact, when I get to my matches up later this week or next week, one of my opponents has already said that if Morty is required in our seed, he is just going to lose because he's not going to do it.
So does that make you more incentivized to do Morty, or does that make you incentivized to not do Morty? Because if you don't, you'll be in the same boat.
Yeah, so it's an interesting sort of metagamey thought process there, isn't it? So when it comes to Morty and Kimono Girls, I'm of the opinion that if you have like a level 30, Kimono Girls is fast, it's easy, you just knock it out.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you have because it's only 5 Pokemon, but it's also 5 fights. If you have easier locations you can be doing that are more like efficient in terms of Pokemon to checks, then I'll probably do those first. But I'm not against doing the Kimono Girls if I'm down to, like, you know, the Kimono Girls, Erica, the Misty Route, like, those types of checks. I'll do Kimono Girls. I'm not going to put them off. Morty's a little bit more complicated. I'm not including doing Burnt Tower with Morty because Burnt Tower has its own checks, and also if you want to try and bait out the level 40s, Rock Smash is still not in logic because the TM is not the logical identifier. It is actually the squirt bottle. You have to be able to buy it. Because if you teach the TM and then teach over it, that would soft lock. Anyways. With Morty, my sort of thought process with Morty is that there are signs that the game will give you if early Morty is going to be a good idea. For example, I was doing a seed recently in which I had the Clear Bell and the Rainbow Wing, I had a bunch of other items, but I only had 5 badges, and I didn't have the key card. And to get to Tin Tower, you either have to clear Rocket Tower or clear Morty. And there's the Boulder badge, by the way. You either have to clear the Rocket Tower or clear Morty. You have to do one of the two. And most people will wait to do Rocket Tower because that's a bunch of checks. No. I went ahead and did Morty anyways because I was sitting on 5 badges. I had done most of like the easy checks in Kanto and Upper and Lower Johto, and I had everything I needed to get in Tin Tower, and come to find out, the other 11 badges were all locked behind Strength, which was in Tin Tower. Geez.
So, I know where I stand on this is very simple. Kimono Girls is 95% of the time worth doing. It's a good idea. Because honestly, doing the 5 fights, it's not going to take you that long as you have a decent enough main event.
Yeah.
Morty, for me, it almost entirely depends on how close I am to getting Tin Tower access. If I get Rainbow Wing and Clear Bell, not only will I do Morty, I will almost certainly rush Morty.
I'm kind of the same way. That's basically what I was saying. I'm kind of the same way. The difference is if I have the key card and or 7 or more badges, I might put it off and continue to do some easy checks. I'm not like going out of my way to avoid Morty. It's just I have other things I could be doing, and if the other Rocket Tower items show up, I'd rather do Rocket Tower than do Morty just because it's more checks.
Part of it, from me at least, is I absolutely hate doing Rocket Tower with a passion. I will only do Rocket Tower if and only if I have Card Key, I have Basement Key, and there is, like, very little else to do. Like, I'll do it before E4, but, like, I'll do Brock and Blaine and Blue before I do Rocket Tower, probably.
So, MisterHomes found the expansion card, which is pretty good. You're going to need all 3 of the items that get you the Poke Gear up and running in Kanto in order to make it to Red. It's just a hard required. You have to wait the Snorlax.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty good. The Snorlax is also level 50, which, if it turns out to be better than his Golduck, a swap to it would not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Did I say experience card?
I thought you said expansion card, but maybe you said experience card.
I am very stupid. You're going to have to deal with me, okay?
Don't worry. We were for the past hour.
Yep, so BadNewsNate continues to truck through this with his Kingdra. Even if they had access to the Snorlax right now, and the Snorlax was a decent enough Pokemon. Not amazing, but decent. I think he would be keeping that Kingdra, to be honest with you.
I think it depends on just how quickly you get that Snorlax. If you could get that Snorlax in the next 2 minutes or 3 minutes, then maybe. But if it's after Rocket Hideout, then yeah, keep the Kingdra. Unless the Snorlax ends up being like a Mewtwo or something.
Well,
like,
obviously. Everything we're saying, there's caveats carved out if a Mewtwo with Psychic shows up. Obviously.
Holmes getting the machine part after naming his rival. Ah! I just felt like
he's got instant dex, he may as well.
Oh, he's going Victory Road.
I like this play.
What level are the Pokemon in Victory Road?
They're like 40-ish. Remember how I was saying...
That could be a main swap.
Yeah, remember how I was saying if you find something that's okay but not amazing, then you can just go Victory Road and find a main there? I think that's what he's doing. His Golduck is okay. It's not amazing because it's not a defensive tank like the Kingdra is, and its moveset isn't great. So I think he's going to go to Victory Road and he's going to find a main up there. I think that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I hope. Either that or maybe he just ends up finding some good items. I mean, you never know. But I think Holmes can find a better main than the Golduck. I mean, the Golduck's fine. It'll get the job done.
The Golduck's okay.
Like, I don't know. I would say the Golduck's probably like B tier, but like, there's a number of Pokemon that are A tier or S tier. Like,
yeah. Well, there's like one S tier Pokemon.
I can only assume you're talking about Mewtwo.
Of course. Like, it depends.
I feel like Mewtwo is like a triple S tier. It's on its own tier.
Yeah, it's fair. It depends on how you want to rank them. Like, there's Mewtwo, and then below that there's like Zapdos, and depending on the moveset, you can say that Espeon is there as well.
I would say Zapdos is there. I would say Espeon is there. I would say Kingdra is there. I would say Porygon 2 is there.
The only reason I'm not going to say Kingdra is there is because Kingdra's base attacking stats are a little low for S. I would say Kingdra's a solid A to A+.
Alright, either way, Kingdra's high up.
Yes, Kingdra is very high up. Ho-Oh is also up there, yes. Ho-Oh is the more attack-oriented of the two legendary birds, and it's a box art legendary, so I think it's base 650, just to begin with. So, yeah, Ho-Oh's good.
P2 may be slow, but it's got good attack and special attack. I like it.
It's not up there, though. It's not anywhere close to up there.
I don't know. I like Porygon 2. I like them.
I know you do. It's still not an S tier Vaughn. I don't even think it's A tier.
Fine. Not even 8. Wow. You're going to say that Porygon 2 is on the same tier as Golduck?
Like B+ tier, I would say. But yeah, probably.
Fine.
I give very little respect to the duck.
Which duck? The Porygon or the Golduck?
Both of them.
We got a couple different ducks we're talking about. We're playing Duck Duck Goose.
That is a stretch. So, Mr. Holmes is repelled through the Victory Road. He found the Rainbow Badge.
Yep, Rainbow Badge. At least he didn't come up here for nothing. We are in a weird situation where Holmes has more Kanto badges than Johto.
I mean, that's happened to me before a few times, actually.
Yeah, it happens. It's just not common.
It's actually really good, though, because as Kanto badges have no checks behind them except to unlock the Rocket Tower and the path over to Blackthorn, they can be literally anywhere. So having 6 of the 8 already is just objectively a good thing, because it means there's fewer of those, well, this item could be stashed literally anywhere, we have to check every location checks.
Yeah, the more you find this early on, the more likely it is this is going to be a match on the faster side. Of course, Marsh Badge could be on E4 or something, but you know.
Oh, of course. Also, we're sitting at 10 badges, and we just hit an hour and 2 minutes.
Yeah, this is a fast match. I don't know if it's 10 badges. I think it's 9.
It's 10.
But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm counting 9.
Are you counting Mr. Holmes' badges? Because he has 6 of the Kanto and 4 of the Johto.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, the Rising badge looked like it wasn't marked off.
Yeah, no, he's got one.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, all right, it's my bad. Time. Yeah. Which is, either way, 9 or 10, whatever it is, that ends up being 10. That's crazy!
Yeah, so it looks like BadNewsNate is done with his little expedition through Kanto. I don't know if he found anything that really makes him go, this was worth my time.
I don't think so. But the good news, at least for Nate, is Holmes is now doing the Kanto checks that Nate just did. So
yeah, I mean,
that'll allow him to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, they're basically doing the ships and the night passes. So one of them's doing the thing that the other one did, and vice versa. They're kind of going to meet back up, and we'll see which one is actually ahead. But just given the speed of the checks that have been done, I think Mr. Holmes is still ahead in terms of the stuff that he has and the stuff that he has checked. But neither of them have done a check that makes me go, the other person is not going to check that for a while, and they found something really good there. Like, neither of them have done 40 and found the soul bad.
I slightly beg to differ in cut. The return for Kenya for Holmes, that I don't see him doing. And I will say, Dark Red in chat pointed that out. So I don't want to take credit for that thought, but that is a good thought. I don't think he's going to be getting cut for a while. Now, will that mean something bad? Yeah, maybe. I don't think we've seen anything behind cut yet, but Nate's going to be probably heading to Lake of Rage soon. What was that?
We haven't found anything behind cut because neither of them have found the Hive badge.
Oh, right. We don't have Hive badge yet. Duh. I'm losing it. It's been a long day.
It happens. So Mr. Holmes has decided, okay, I'm done with Kanto. Let's go back and do the really, really dense location of the rocket, the secret rocket base.
Yep, good call. Good call. I personally am of the opinion, never delay rocket hideout. Like, there are so many checks there. Not only are there so many checks, but even if it ended up being useless, that's just good EXP. Like,
yeah. So what I was gonna say about that is that I will delay the rocket base until I have a Pokemon that I'm satisfied as my main, and then I'll do it.
Well, yeah, that's fine. But I think Holmes is in the position where he ended up not main swapping in Victory Road. I think he's just gonna stick with the Golduck for the long haul, unless Snorlax or Lugia begged him.
Yeah, he just repelled, and he just blitzed through there. He just wanted the checks, and he wanted to get out.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see if the Golduck does have what it takes, but, well, yeah, I mean, all we can do is wait and see. I think there's been a couple fights where Nate's had an easier time, but there hasn't been any fights where Holmes has been really stuck. But he's also not done a lot of it Kanto. So.
Yeah, you're right. Like, you're absolutely right in that regard. Nate has done a couple of harder fights up in Kanto. Mr. Holmes hasn't yet run into a place in which that Golduck is an active detriment to him comparatively, but he hasn't done a couple of the harder fights.
Like, I know one good example of a check that Nate has done. Not that it paid off, but, like, he fought Janine. Like, yeah. That's something that Holmes has not done.
Yep, and I think that's probably the biggest one. I didn't see him do, like, Surge or something like that, and he didn't do the Misty route, so.
You know, something else I just thought about, talking about how these mains are doing. Have we seen a single rare candy yet?
Ooh, good question.
Because I don't think we've seen a single one yet, which is atypical.
I've not seen every item both runners picked up. I haven't seen a rare candy in their bags, though.
Apparently, Chad is saying the shiny had a rare candy.
Yeah.
So that might be about it. Like, normally, by the time you got into red, you have like 4 or 5 rare candies. And,
yep.
If they don't have that many, they're going to have, especially Holmes, you could have a much harder time with that Golduck if it's only going to be like level 50 or 51.
Yep, to be fair though, they're still quite a ways away from red. That, like,
oh yeah, they got time.
This is a fast seed, but it's not that fast.
Oh yeah, and like we've said earlier, this seed could stall out. You can get 15 of the badges in the first hour. and then not find the Marsh badge for, like, another 3. Like, it can work out that way, unfortunately.
It's entirely possible that something is on the Rainbow Wing check, which is, like, the last check any of these runners will want to do in the entire game.
For some people, the last check they're going to want to do would be something like Route 4 or something.
Route 4 is still infinitely faster than the Elite 4.
Oh, I agree, but I know of people who will do E4 before Route 4. Like,
that's weird. Those people are weird. I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, what I want after this tournament, what I want is for several of the top people in the tournament to literally just do a tier list of, like, all of the checks. Like...
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
You don't have to do individual checks. You can group, like, all of Tin Tower together, but, like, you know.
Yeah. Also, Nate is having a couple of uncharacteristic sort of little tiny things. That's the second optional I've seen him hit. He might have actually hit more than just the one. Just the 2.
It could be a matter of him just being concerned and not wanting to lose again. Hard to say.
It's entirely possible, yeah. It's very much a case of, I think that the pressure is getting to him just a little bit. I don't know if he thinks he's ahead or not, because he's hit a couple of optionals, but he's also in a really good situation, and he's got a ton of badges at the 1 hour mark, but he also knows how easy those badges were to find. So he probably assumes that his opponent has also found them.
Yeah, which, at the moment, they pretty much, the only badge that one of them has and the other doesn't.
Yep. And that's going to be relatively soon.
So Holmes found the Lost Stall, and that's been about it so far in this Rocket Hideout, which opens up, 1 chuck.
Yeah, but at least it's an easy one.
Oh yeah, very easy.
Walk in, you get the item, you walk out.
Yep. Now, if I was Holmes, what I would try to do is time it so that you do that chuck and surge at the same time. Oh, there's Mineral Badge, actually, for Nate.
Yep, Nate has made the decision. Instead of going straight into the Rocket Underground, he's going to head out towards Ice Cave. Ice Cave, sorry. I only like this play if he already had either HMO4 or the Plane Badge.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If he has both, then yeah, I feel like this play is just great. But if he had one of them, I'd still probably consider it because it's 5 checks and there's a chance that it might show up here. And if it does, that's actually a big advantage for you. But
yeah, I would definitely do it if I had one of them. But this thing both, that's kind of risky. I mean, it could pay off, but...
So at this point, he's not really looking to make it through the Blackthorn. He's not like going, oh, I hope I find both of them. Right. He's just hoping, oh, I hope I find
something.
The key card. Like, he's hoping for an item here that he expects Mr. Holmes won't find for a while.
Yeah.
Or the high
honestly, one of the best things that he could maybe try to find here would be Rainbow Wing.
Rainbow Wing, Hive Badge.
Yeah, Hive Badge would have been good as well, but unfortunately nothing in there.
Like, the biggest things he could find are Rainbow Wing and Hive Badge. Or, if you manage to track down both of the remaining pieces of your radio card, that would also be good.
Nate already did these checks, right?
No, Holmes did these checks and didn't elect to get a main. That's why we were talking about it. But
okay, in my mind, Nate had done these checks. I was like, is he going back up for E4? But if he's just doing these checks now, okay, that makes sense.
He's probably going to the Elite Four though.
You think he's gonna do it?
No, not at all. But he's headed up to Victory Road, is what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he's like, I think having hit 2 optionals, I think he's feeling behind at this point. Like, I think he feels like he's behind.
I just hope he doesn't get too much in his head.
I'm not too worried about Nate's position right now. Yeah, he's behind Mr. Holmes, but he has that cut. Again, though, that cut's on a very easy check. It's just on the Kenya return. So I'm not going to say that he's like got a big advantage off of that, because presumably, assuming MisterHomes hasn't forgotten that check exists, he's going to get that check relatively soon. I don't know what he's waiting for, but he's going to get it relatively soon.
Yeah, at this point, if I was in Holmes' position, I probably wouldn't be worrying about that Kenya quest until I was ready to do Rocket Tower or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think he's waiting for. That makes sense.
And you're not going to do that until you have card keys, so it could be a bit.
Yeah, at minimum, card key.
We wanted to go for something.
Yeah, at minimum, card key. A lot of runners will wait until they have both card and basement key.
Yeah. Glacier badge.
Yeah, so Rocket Underground is absolutely required because it's got the Glacier badge on it. Also, if they find HMO sticks, that opens up the Whirl Islands and that Lugia check.
And that is something Holmes is going to want. I think that'll help him out a lot, unless it ends up being something really bad.
Yeah, the only things that it could be that makes people go, maybe not, is if it's a really bad Pokemon. Like a Smeargle, a Ditto, a Yanma, and like I said, I've done the Yanma before. Or it is a Friendship Evolution Pokemon, because one of the settings we have in these randomizers is that impossible or overly difficult evolutions, such as trade evolutions, have been changed to level up evolutions, and you're guaranteed to have evolved by level 40. I think some of the easy trade evolutions will even evolve at level 30. However, that doesn't change Friendship Evolutions. So if you find the level 60 and the level 60 is a Cleffa, you're not getting a Clefable anytime soon, because you have to do the entire Friendship Evolution first, and then you can evolve it with Moonstone.
Yeah, not only all that, going back to what you said about bad mains, just to practice one I was doing the other day, I had a really bad main. I was using Eradicate. And I was like, oh, we got Snorlax like an hour in. There we go, I'm gonna main that. It was a Shuckle.
Oof.
And me, not knowing Shuckle's stats, decided to catch it a main it. For about 5 minutes. And then I realized that there was an issue, and I googled its stats.
Yeah, Shuckle's stats.
And I did not run that Shuckle anymore.
For anybody who doesn't know, Shuckle basically has the highest defense stat in the game. The trade-off is that all of its attacks are bad. So BadNewsNate is electing to defeat the rival. I still don't think he's going to do the Elite Four, but I think he's electing to do the rival because his Kingdra is strong, and the Elite Four is the only, it is the only mart in the entire game where you can buy full restores. Also, Nate's previous run, the one that he lost earlier this tournament, wound up being an Elite Four seed. And actually, he and his opponent both got down to like having 3 or 4 checks left. They were random Kanto gym leaders. And both of them said to themselves, pretty much at exactly the same time, if this wasn't an Elite Four seed, the other guy would have already won. Let's go do the Elite Four. And of course, the Elite Four had the Marsh badge.
Yeah. And not only that, not only is there the advantage of getting the marts, but you also get the fly point for too.
Yep. This is not a terrible idea if you have the time to spare, or if you just are hedging your bets that this is going to be an Elite Four seed. Given how fast this seed has been going, I don't know if it's going to be... It could be an Elite Four seed, but the thing is, what I tend to judge as an Elite Four seed or not depends less on how quickly items come and more on which items you're still missing. The Rainbow Wing blocks a ton of checks. The card key and the basement key, ton of checks. Whirlpool, ton of checks.
Gear plus radio card.
Ton of checks. So, like, he's found a bunch of items, and Surf has opened up a ton of checks, but, like, the other really big check-dense items, in my opinion, are still missing. At least some of them are.
I don't want to premature celebrate, but Holmes is in Goldenrod. I don't quite know why. What are we trying to look to buy? What are we trying to buy? What are we trying to sell?
He's emptying his bags, which he could have done... Oh, hey, So, welcome, SpeedGaming. Welcome. We are doing a Pokemon Crystal Full Item Randomizer. between BadNewsNate and MisterHomes, and is part of the ongoing Pokemon Crystal Full Item Randomizer tournament. Happy to have you. We're about an hour and 17 minutes in, and this seed has been going by blazing fast. They're already at 11, 12. Already at 12 badges, and we're only an hour and 15 minutes in.
Alright, so Nate just taught Rock Smash. Holmes, meanwhile, is doing Whitney, which I don't think either of them have done Whitney, so...
I thought Nate did Whitney, but you might be right.
Maybe. It's hard to keep track who did what shots.
Yeah.
But, we got Whitney. Maybe because he's doing Whitney, he'll do the Kenya check and get that cut HM. But, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, we're starting to... I'm trying to think what other big checks they actually have open at this point. And there's not a lot. Like...
There's random
a lot of items.
There's the Misty Route, where there's an item up there.
Yeah.
We got Nugget Bridge is going to have an item plus the Misty encounter.
Nate is also in Golden Dawn. Oh, he's also doing Whitney.
Yep, I just checked Mr. Holmes' stream. He does still oh, hold up. I was going to say he does still have the Kenya turn-in marked as something that he needs to do. He just clicked it, so I think that's where he's going right now.
Alright. Well, he did just beat Whitney. Whitney ended up having nothing. And yeah, it looks like he's doing that check right now and getting cut. So there we go. Alright, so good to know the cut's not gonna bite him in the butt. And now he's doing the underground check. Okay.
Yeah, he also put this one off.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, this wasn't anything. I think it was like a PP up or something. It was an item, and I don't even know if it was a PP up because I would have thought I would have remembered it being a money item. If nothing else.
So let's think about what checks they can do. So I don't think either of them have done Kimono Girls. I don't think either of them have done Morty.
Right.
We got Soft Sand Girls, as Dimnex pointed out. Obviously, we have E4, we have Nugget Hedge, we have some of the gym fights in Kanto, such as Surge, Misty, Sabrina.
Yep.
Janine, we already checked.
Yeah, there's also the Rock Smash check in the Burnt Tower, which, again, is out of logic, but it's there. And there's the pharmacy on Cianwood.
And there's the Lost Item turn.
And the Lost Item turn, yeah.
And that might be about it. There's probably something I'm not thinking. Oh, I don't think have either of them done the Route 12 check? In the Fisherman?
Yes, that one was done.
Okay. I think Holmes is doing that one right now.
Yeah, so I think Holmes is probably going to do these, and then he's going to go to Viridian, do the check there for the machine part turn-in, and then do Surge. I think that's what he's going to do next.
I think it makes sense. It looks like he is going for a million, yep. Alright, let's see a Lost Item be something. I'm feeling Lost Item for Rainbow Wing.
Nah.
Nope.
Nate has returned to Mahogany, and he is now going to be doing the Rocket Underground as well. This is going to take him a little bit of time, but it will net him his Glacier badge, which is good. He needs that.
Yeah. That'll catch him right back up to 12 badges, so... So we got Nate in the hideout where he'll get Lost Item, which we know is nothing, but also Glacier Badge. Holmes, meanwhile, is doing Surge, which I can't recall if Nate did Surge.
I don't think he did. I think he did Janine, and that was it.
Okay. I think you're right. We'll have to see what's on Surge. I'm gonna go ahead and make a prediction though. Next important item is gonna be found on girls.
Ooh, that is a bold prediction.
I think it's always kimono girls.
When you say important item, do you mean like any key item that is useful, or do you mean like the next thing that opens up more
I
chests?
mean either a badge or a key item that opens more than like 2 chests.
Huh.
So like, I'm not saying red scale is a big item. I'm not saying mystery egg is a big item.
But
I'm
so, like,
saying if they found something like card key, if they found rainbow ring, even if they found like even Pokegear and radio cards aren't really big items.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is like, is Pokegear a big item? Is HMO4 a big item? They don't open anything. They eat them, but they don't open anything.
Yeah, that's where it gets tricky. I would say they're false big items. They lead to big items.
All right. In that case, I will say the next big item we find. I'm gonna say it's on the lost item turn-in.
No, we already did lost item turn-in.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, we
definitely
just
have
did that.
No.
Oh,
No,
wait.
The turn-in on the copycat girl.
You're right. I'm being dumb. I'm getting the lost item turn-in check mixed up with the machine part get the doll check.
Yeah.
I'm getting the 2 sides of the lost item mixed up. We're gonna find out the lost item right now, though. So.
That's convenient.
All right, let's find out. Survey says.
Yo!
All right.
Hold it.
Or were you cheating and looking ahead?
No.
Oh boy, I don't know if I believe that.
I wouldn't believe me, because I definitely was looking ahead.
Alright. Not just Marsh. Remember, they need Hive Badge and Plain Badge, too. So.
Yeah, and Hive Badge and Plain Badge are big. Like, on the list of badges I want to see early, Hive Badge and Plain Badge are numbers 3 and 4.
In that order, or?
Maybe not in that order.
Because I would probably put them as 3 and 4, but I'd put Plain above Hive. I mean, number 2 is definitely Fog, and number 1 is Storm. Like, I don't think there's any arguing that.
That's pretty obvious.
But I think Plain Badge is more useful than...
I think it's a toss-up. It depends on what point in the game you're at as well.
True. Early game, you want Hive Badge more. Late game, you want Plain Badge more. Zephyr Badge is probably the most useless of the Johto badges. Other than Mineral, which literally useless.
Yeah, I mean, Holmes doesn't need to save. He didn't save here. He doesn't need to. He's plenty strong. He's got a ton of good items, and his moveset's solid. Like, there's very little danger of doing even the Sabrina check, just because, well, the Dugtrio with Drill Peck's gonna hurt a little bit. Especially if he won't stop hitting himself.
Ethan and chat's got a good point. We might reach a point where it's not even a hunt for badges, it's the hunt for the Pokegear part.
Yeah, that's still a good thing. That's still a good problem to have, though, because you know it's not going to be in Western Kanto at that point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it lowers the number of items, but still...
Yeah, so the last hope we have for this seed getting really, really nasty, I think, is probably going to be that Marsh match.
Yeah. If that Marsh badge comes up soon, you know, one way or another, they're not having to some group of checks, whether it's strength checks, cut checks, West Kanto, you know, whatever.
There's a radio
card. Alright. So, actually, funny, that radio card, that's finally our use for the machine part.
Yeah, well, we didn't even need the machine part for it, though. We could have gotten it just by going to the,
I thought that rocket guy doesn't run out until you, until you go there, I guess. That's not...
Yeah, you have to go there. It's
right,
the
true.
vanilla machine part, so...
True, that is vanilla machine part. You're right. Again, I'm tired.
It happens, don't worry about it. That's what I'm here for. So, Nate is doing the Kimono Girls check. I like this at this point. just because you've got a strong enough Pokemon. You're gonna one-shot literally everything here. This is gonna take you, I think, at most 90 seconds.
I'm telling you, Hive badges on kimonos.
All right, I'm actually not looking ahead here, so I don't know what's going on. I think that the next big item we're going to find, I don't know where we're going to find it, but I think we are going to probably be finding the Hive badge next.
Yeah, that's my guess.
It's either the Hive badge or it's the Rainbow Wing. It's one of the two.
Alright, hear me out. You ready?
Okay.
Rainbow Wing on Morty?
Ooh.
That would be mean. That would be mean.
That's probably the meanest item you could stick on Morty, to be honest with you.
I mean, yeah, swap the meanest would be if both the Morty's items were Rainbow Wing and Clear Bell.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That would be funny.
I thought we were sticking to remotely reasonable.
Nah.
I think that Rainbow Wing is going to show up before Strength because we're missing both parts of Strength. We're missing both the HM and the badge.
I'm at the point where I think Strength might not even come up.
So, I pitch this every time that I do one of these. It is theoretically possible. It's not very likely. In fact, it's one of the things that it's so rare that I'm willing to bet nobody has ever seen it and nobody will ever see it. It is theoretically possible to not require Surf in one of these seeds.
Wait. Yeah? Yeah, because you could go into Kanto and then just go across. Yeah, that checks out.
It is so unlikely because of the number of checks that are locked behind Surf that it's the equivalent of Ocarina of Time not requiring Zelda's Lullaby. It is theoretically possible. It almost never happens. Except that I think that the Zelda's Lullaby thing has actually happened before. I'm willing to bet you Surf will never happen.
OOT without Zelda's Lullaby. That seems very interesting. I used to do a little bit of OOT Rando, but it's been a while, so I don't remember the checks here.
I think somebody has run the. I forget if this is for Zelda's Lullaby not being required, or if this is for Kakariko Village not being way up the hero. But it's something like 0.3% of possible seeds to have that happen.
That's actually not that rare, all things considered. I mean, OOT Rando's so popular. That's 3 in 1,000. That's only 1 in 1,000. That's like once a year if you play a lot of it. So, it's still rare. But I was thinking it was going to be, way higher.
Yeah, I might have the wrong statistic now that you mention it, because you're right.
Maybe if it was 0.03.
Possibly.
I want to hear cries. Is that a Mewtwo? Was that a Mewtwo Entei? Or was that Paris?
It's hard. It wasn't Paris. It might have been Paris.
I'm saying Paris. That's why I was like... Oh, is that Paris, or Mewtwo? Alright, now chat's saying Paris. Still, Holmes? Oh, Holmes is not checking for the rumor.
He still can after the gym is done.
Yeah, true.
So I think if Mr. Holmes finds something here on Morty, I think he's got a commanding lead, because nobody likes to do this, Jack.
Nope. I certainly don't.
Where does Nate go after this, you think?
If I was Nate... Alright. If I'm Nate, I'm starting to think, okay, we might need to start making some interesting plays, okay?
Okay.
What about Cianwood Pharmacy?
I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it because it's a flight point. And you're already, there's a good chance that you're going to want to do Whirl Islands, and I like to approach the Whirl Islands from Cianwood as opposed to coming at it from Olivine, because the distance is approximately equivalent. and it lets you dodge that one trainer that has 6 Pokemon.
Yeah, I know I prefer the northeast entrance to the point where, like, that's the only way I will do it.
Oh yeah, no, you still do the northeast entrance. You just come at it from Cianwood.
But imagine a world where Pharmacy Chuck is world.
That would be rude.
Look, I'm also the person who was just saying, imagine rainbowing on 40. Like,
Nate is doing the soft sand girls. I hate this check. There's no reason for me to hate it. I just do.
I mean, I don't think anyone likes the check, but like, at this point, yeah, do it. I mean, like I said that he should start trying to do checks that are like a little more out there. I suggested the pharmacy, but soft sand girls is almost just as odd. The only check that I can think of that would be like a really risky check to do that you should not do is false director. Like, don't do false director, but
I have seen a scene with the key card on false director. It is.
I think if I was in that situation, that would literally be the last check I did.
I would still do it before Elite Four.
I would do E4 first.
I would do it before Elite Four because it's only an extra 3 fights, and Elite Four is still 30 Pokemon.
But E4 is 2 items. Oh, Pokegear!
Where is the Pokegear? Okay, well...
West Kanto, here we go.
Mr.
40 was relevant.
Mr. Holmes is commandingly in the lead right now.
Yeah.
This is really bad for Nate if he wants to stay in the tournament.
Yeah. Let's see what the Snorlax says. And if Holmes will consider main swap.
I think he's committed too hard to this thing right here. The Golduck, that's what it was. Okay, hold on.
No. I mean, catch it for a backup if like Golduck goes down. But here's the thing: Pinsir is all physical, and you don't even have strength. Like,
no, but he has Drill Peck.
I guess.
Thundersmog return payday. Well, that's not getting wrong. Actually, hold up. So he's got Headbutt, he's got Drill Peck. That's actually a pretty good moveset right there, as long as he gets something else to hit Ghost with.
Got Double Edge too, yeah.
Is Double... For some reason, in my head, Double Edge is Rock type, but I don't think it is.
No, it's normal. He's teaching Sharpen.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
He bought that TM from the Mart. I forgot. Also, it looks like he might have used the Drill Peck TM. Or stole it.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I would have stuck with the Golduck at that point.
With 2 normal type moves.
Oh, Marsh Badge.
So there's the last of the troll badges. With 2 normal type moves as his big damage dealing types, I also am a little bit hesitant. Normal's a great attacking type. Don't get me wrong. It hits everything in the game for neutral damage except 3 types. It's just that of those 3 types, one of them it can't hit at all.
So who would have guessed that an hour and a half into the seed, we only need 2 items, and it's Hive Badge and Plain Badge. That is weird. I think Holmes is going for E4.
That's such a weird... No, he must be. It's the only thing here.
Yeah.
He doesn't have access to the Whirlpool. This is such a weird call from him, though.
Yeah. What's interesting is that he did the one check that he could after Snorlax, and it paid off. Or, I guess there's...
He's not doing Elite Four. He's getting access to West Kanto this way. What are we talking about?
He's getting access to... Oh, yeah! Yeah!
Well,
I forgot you can get access to West Kanto this way.
Literally, both of... Well, you forgot. I just lost my mind. You said it, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with what you just said.
I'm not used to this being an actual thing.
I had to do this last seed.
I've never had to do this.
I literally just... You said the thing, and my brain agreed with you. That's what happened. Like, I have no excuse for that happening other than that's just what happened.
Yeah, I mean, you know. Alright, we only need 2 badges there. So
Look, I take full.
Nate's going Morty, it looks like.
Okay.
Now, where was Radio? Radio Card was in Cerulean Gym.
Yes.
Okay. So, Nate's going to be getting Pokegear soonish. But...
Presumably.
He's going to need Radio Cerulean Gym. And the question will be also if he goes for Mega Hedge. Or something.
I mean, if he finds the radio card, he's definitely not going to bother. If he finds the radio card as his 3rd piece, he's going straight to West Kanto.
Yeah.
So far, there's not been anything here, though, is the thing. Like,
I mean, other than Marsh Badge, but yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, fair. There's still a couple of checks here. There's Brock, there's Route 4, which is not a fun check, but it's not terrible, especially with a level 50. There's Blaine, and there's Blue.
And that's about it.
Yep.
So yeah, you know, go for Brock. Honestly, in this weird position, I'd almost do Route 4 now.
Yeah, I agree.
If he thinks he can handle Riot. Which... I don't know Pinsir too well, maybe. I will say, what's Pinsir's gender ratio? 50?
Probably.
I probably would have, if I had saved in front of that Pinsir, I might have software set to try to see what
Yeah, it's 50-50.
Yeah, I might have done that, just because, you know, it's a little more reassuring. I don't know. It could make a difference. It's hard. Where was Soul Badge? Soul Badge was the...
Lost item turn.
Lost item turn, yep.
I've not played a seed that doesn't require strength. I played a couple of seeds that didn't require Whirlpool. That's always fun.
Oh, basement key.
So that's useful and yet useless at the same time, because without keycard, there's no chance of him using that right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's out of logic until he gets started. So.
Yep.
At least those chops.
It is technically out of logic, but it's also just a bad idea.
Yep. Alright, where's Holmes going for? I think Holmes is going for Janine.
He must be. Shopping first, it looks like.
Or shopping.
It very much is one of those things where it's like, in terms of the game, you don't need keycard to use the basement key. In terms of not hating yourself, you're going to want that.
I would never, ever recommend doing vanilla rockets. It's not fun.
Ooh, that's a Boomerang TM.
Oh, well that's good.
That's very good.
Yeah. Boomerang is, what, the second best ground move other than Earthquake?
Yep.
I mean, Earthquake's definitely the best. Boomerang's probably second best, and then Bone Rush, and then I don't know if there's anything.
Yeah,
I guess Dig. Like,
the addition of Boomerang makes the Pinsir like a million times better. Because
yeah, now the Pinsir's good.
He only had 2 normal type attacking moves, and Headbutt's really strong, but if he runs into a Ghost type, he's gonna have to kill that thing with Thunder, and that would not have been fun.
Yeah, probably not. Alright. Nate almost done the Morty here. That'll get him.
He's put it off as long as he could.
Yeah. And that'll get him that over here. Still, it's interesting just how many key items have not come up that open, like, big chunks. No card key, no strength, no hive badge,
no
rainbow wing, no whirlpool. just
Yeah,
weird.
and the funny thing is, Nate hasn't played poorly. Like, he's been playing really well. It's just that Mr. Holmes has managed to make all of the right decisions at all of the right time, and it's always paid off for him.
Yeah, pretty much. What's left at this point? So Nugget Hedge, E4, Route 4, False Director. They did Secret Potion check. Basement Key with a strong asterisk there. Blaine Blue. Misty, if you want to. I don't. Some people disagree with counting that as part of Nugget Hedge. What else is there?
That's pretty much it. There's also the False Director if you really want to do
False Director. Yeah, there's not too much. Alright, so Nate now has Pokegear stuff. So, really, the only items... So he's very likely about to get Rush Dash. Which means that the only item he will be actually behind is Soul Dash, which is the lost item.
Yeah, and it's not so much that he's behind in items, he's behind in checks.
I don't know if that's necessarily the case at this point. Because, like, I guess a little bit, but not in that many. I mean, the big win that he's behind on is doing West Camp.
Yeah.
But, like, on the flip side of that, you have Holmes who's about to do soft sand.
Yeah, but
so,
you still do Soft Sand Girls faster than you do West Canto. You do Soft Sand Girls faster than I think Nate can get to West Canto.
I don't know. I think it might get to West Canto first. Alright. Oh, or he's going E4.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, he flew to Indigo Plateau. Yeah.
You got that flight
going down.
Yeah. About that.
I think he's gonna get to West Canto before Soft Sand Girls is done. Like I said.
Alright. I can only be wrong so many times a seed. Something's gonna have to go my way eventually.
Fair.
So I think what would probably help out Nate is if he does and finds something on either Blue or Blaine. I don't know if he will, just because getting to them is a little slow, but he could probably win those fights. So.
Blaine is a good check for a couple reasons. For one, the fight itself is pretty. It's only 3. The other thing is you have to go down to Pallet Town anyway. And It doesn't take that long to talk to Blue and then go to Blue. It literally is like 40 seconds a minute. It's not much. Now, fighting Blue, that's a little harder. It would depend on just how good of a main you have, but I would definitely do Blaine.
I do like his Kingdra.
Yeah, no, his Kingdra is going to be good. And we could actually, I'm going to say this right now. We could have a situation where Holmes reaches Red first, but Nate beats Red first. That is not impossible.
It's not. I feel like they would have to close the gap a little bit more for that to be a realistic consideration, though.
Yeah. Holmes is doing pharmacy check now. Let's see if that ends up being a thing.
That is some dangerous movement around that swimmer, and I don't like it.
It was a little interesting.
That was terrifying.
I mean, he didn't hit the swimmer, so it's all good. Everything's fine.
It's interesting to me that Mr. Holmes didn't fly to Cianwood immediately upon reaching the little pop-up of it.
Well, I know, at least for me, that is something where I didn't know about that until like a week ago, so... Cianwood is pointless. Rip.
Yep, no Cianwood. I mean, it's still probably a good flight point to have, just in case, but honestly, actually...
Nugget Hedge? Yeah.
The only way that flight point becomes valuable is if one of those 3 items is the Hive Badge or something that directly leads to the Hive Badge. Because they would need strength to actually get them.
Yeah.
I feel like
What was that?
I feel like we're definitely going to find something other than a badge first. We're either going to get Whirlpool or the Rainbow Wing.
Nate's doing Route 4.
I mean, you may as well. I like this choice.
Yeah, Holmes has not done it, so this could be Nate's big moment. If he can get something on Route 4, that'll get him really back in it.
He needs this to be
especially because Holmes is doing a time sink in the Nugget Hedge in it. So
yeah, he needs this to be something good though. And given the way this race has been going, there's going to be nothing here, and you're going to find the cut badge on this last guy over here.
Ark in chat, I don't know if it's Ark or Real, but they have a good point too. Saying honestly, at this point, and this team can be run by doing basement out of logic. It could.
It could, but it's such a time-consuming thing that I don't think the risk is worth it, even though it could win it for you.
I wouldn't risk that yet. Maybe if it came down to like just Eve. That's also a good Garfield, yeah.
I still think he would fly to Cerulean though. Like, you've got fly, you may as well use it. I think it'd be faster.
It might not because of where the center is. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see if Route 4 pays off.
He's got another fight first. We got a second.
Oh yeah. I always forget about this up. Always forget this is a fact.
Would you do basement before Elite Four?
In this situation, I don't know. Because on the one hand, it is very unlikely that E4 is gonna have E4 unlocks 2 chucks. It's very unlikely it's gonna be both Hive Badge and thing, right?
Right.
So you're thinking to yourself, what item is gonna be on E4? And it could be Card Key, which in that case you would want to do the base. But it could also be Roll.
Yeah, so yeah.
Or Rainbow Wing, even.
I think with
I'd probably do E4.
if you're sitting on just having E4 or just go force the basement, and like you know you're gonna get something from one of those. You know you're gonna get something off the Elite Four. But the problem is that if it's the key card, then you still have to do like all of the tower to get into the basement. And so you're going to have a bunch of basement fights or E4 plus tower fights. But if it's not the key card, and it is instead the Rainbow Wing, then you're going to waste a bunch of time.
Yeah.
So like I still think the Elite when it comes down to something like that, where you have just those 2 left, you do the one that you know is the only one left in logic, because you know it has to be something, and there's 3 good options for what it could do to unlock a bunch.
You want the honest answer from me on if I would do E4 or basement? Here's the complete honest answer. You ready?
You'd give up?
It depends on if I think I'm ahead or behind. If I think I'm behind, I go risk it all basement.
That's valid, I suppose.
Because you know what? If you think you're behind, you got nothing to lose. Go for the Hail Mary.
Alright, it looks like MisterHomes is making the play to Blaine, I would imagine. Yeah, he's going to Blaine.
Weird. At that point, I would have just done Misty.
Yeah, I probably would have as well.
And then do Blaine, but like, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's possible Blaine ends up paying off. Hard to say. What was... I'm not sure what Holmes is looking for there.
I'm not sure either. Maybe he was just checking to see what he still had.
Yeah.
The Kingdra's hit 50, which is pretty nice.
Yep.
I still think that BadNewsNate has the better Pokemon. Like, the Kingdra is physically stronger, but I think the Kingdra is better in terms of, like, both attack and defense. Well, not, like... Not in terms of better in terms of attack, but I mean, when you take attack and defense together, then the Kingdra is better than the Pinsir.
Yeah. I forgot that Holmes didn't even name swap it, so I was still comparing it. Yeah, I think I would... I don't know. The Kingdra's stat-wise is going to be better than the Pinsir. I think the Pinsir's got the better moveset at this point.
Well, the Pinsir has a better attacking stat. Kingdra's 95s across the board. The Pinsir, I think, is 125.
Right, and that Pinsir's got so many good physical moves, I'd rather the Pinsir in this case only. Although, I probably would not be using Hyper Beam as much as Holmes is using it.
Yeah.
Honestly, here's where I would have done different. I would have gotten rid of Hyper Beam and kept Double Edge. If you got the healing moves, the healing items, then there you go. Card key on Blaine! Oh no! See, that's where my basement play could have paid off!
No, it definitely would not have.
Why not?
Because the keycard's easy to get!
I guess. But that's if you do Blaine when you do it.
This could still be a waste of time. Misty could have the rainbow badge, and the badges themselves are within Chin Tower. Like, entirely possible. It's entirely possible that there's still nothing here. But, in terms of check density, this is a very dense set of checks. I think it's like 19 checks between the tower and the underground itself. Like,
no, not 19. That sounds too high. I think it's closer to like 15.
There's still a lot.
10 in the basement. Yeah, I think it's like 10.
If Missy has HMO6, it wouldn't open up Dragon's Den, but it would open up the Whirl Islands.
It would open up Whirl Islands and the one Whirlpool shop.
Yeah. That's such a weird item to have been put there by the devs. I don't know why that's there.
Because they made the game, and then they realized, shoot, we really only made Whirlpool relevant in, like, 2 places. We should add another Whirlpool somewhere.
I mean, Waterfall's only relevant in 2 places.
I guess, but... Honestly, why aren't there more Whirlpools? There are cut trees everywhere. You could have put Whirlpools more places.
Can you soft lock yourself in the Lugia room if you go down there without having an escape rope or Waterfall?
No, because you can always wipe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Also, Misty was nothing. That's a travesty. Oh, is Nate looks like turning into doll now?
At least he's gonna get this badge, so he'll be back on par in terms of badges, but that keycard item is really big.
Yeah, that's looking like the progression item. Although, we aren't really gonna know until after all the fighting is done.
Yep, and it's just, you know, it is what it is. There's still a chance that it's not this. Like, it's just straight up possible that this is entirely useless and he's going down a garden path. It's just not very likely.
Yeah. Nate's doing Sabrina. We've already seen Sabrina, so...
And it's also worth noting that even if it is going down a garden path, Nate is still likely to find the key card before he finds anything else. Because, like, the other checks that are available would be, like, the Elite Four. It'd be like the Elite Four, basically. So...
Yeah. Unless, if you're Nate, you say, well, let's do blue before Pocket Tower or something.
Yeah, but you'd still probably do blue after you did Blaine, and once you get the keycard from Blaine, you're not going to go do blue, you're going to go do Rocket Tower.
Yeah, probably.
Like, it is still possible that Nate is not as far behind as it looks like he is, depending on where the missing items are, but it's not likely.
Yeah.
Much more likely, Nate is just super far behind at this point, which is unfortunate.
Nate doing some more shopping? Okay. What do the Nate wants? X items, maybe?
Quite possibly. He also might just... Yeah, he's out of potions as well. I'm surprised he went here, though, and not to, the Elite Four, because he's got that option. He could have gotten full restores and max repels with the Elite Four, and those are like the two most useful items in this game.
Well, it looks like he's going for X items, which I don't think are full Elite Four. I don't know.
I think you're probably right. It is worth noting, despite all of this, we're still not even at 2 hours. So...
We're about to be, though. Alright, let's see here. Let's see what Rocket Tower's got. We got a TM?
I think it's still
Alright, good start.
I think it's much more likely that the item is going to be in the underground. Could be here, though.
Yeah, it's more likely, but we'll have to wait and see. Nate's now doing Surge. Playing Badge.
Useful, but not.
I mean, very useful.
It's extremely useful, but at the same time, it also is not useful because it doesn't get him any more checks. He's still going to have to continue doing Rocket Tower stuff.
Right, but that's kind of good because that means he might not need Strength. He just gets Hive Badge and is done. Like,
yeah. Cut not required.
Like, I would rather get the Plain Badge in this case than the Hive Badge, as long as we don't have Strength. So,
yeah. Specifically because we don't have Strength, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, if we had Strength, then it would be different. But...
The Hive Badge would have opened up like 20 checks. The Plain Badge opens up no checks, but it's one of the items he needed to find, so it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's only good because he still has a bunch of checks to check here in the Rocket Underground.
Yeah.
Holmes did do search, yeah.
Yeah, I think Holmes is in the position at this point where after this rocket stuff, I think all he has really is blue and E4.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything else.
He has to do Rock 4 and he has to do Misty.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't done Misty or Rogue, which we know are...
But the fact that he's down to that few checks at 2 hours, admittedly, he's down to that few checks because no Strength, no Whirlpool, no Rainbow Badge. Like, those are the reasons that he's down to that few checks at 2 hours, but still, he's down to that few checks at 2 hours, so...
This is what Nate needs at this point, ready? I'm gonna outline ideal situation for Nate, okay?
Okay.
In this basement is everything except for the Hive Badge. You get Whirlpool, you get Rainbow Wing, and now you have to guess.
I was actually just thinking that. You're probably right. That would probably be the best possible thing that could have happened to Nate. Is literally
Good call to do the Plain Badge check before the Underground, just in case.
Yeah, but at that point you should have done the Plain Badge. Oh yeah, right. Never mind.
You just got the Plain Badge.
Yeah, no, yeah. It took me a minute. I'm like, why was that so long?
Yeah. Alright, well, Nate's getting into Blaine now.
So the funny thing is, I said earlier, if you do Blaine and you get the key card, you're going to the Rocket Underground, the Rocket Tower. Actually, I think you might do blue. You might do blue first, anyways, because it's just a single fight, and you're strong enough.
That's what I was saying. Is you might do blue before. It's hard to say. If it was me, probably I would not. But that's also just because I hate fighting blue.
If Nate commits to blue and there's something there, the something has to be Hive Badge, or he's going to go down a Garden Path.
Yeah. That's what he needs at this point.
he's setting up on Blaine, which surprises me.
Yeah, he should be fine. I think he's way overcompensating. Like, to use Swords Dance 3 times on Bane, not to mention the X items, like, I would have just gone in with no setup.
Yeah, Dark, if it's anything other than Hive, it's actually not good. Well, it could be Strength and it would be okay, but if it's Rainbow Wing or HMO6, we know he's going to have to go do Rocket Tower because that's where the plane bag is. So, it's possible that he gets, say, Whirlpool and goes to Whirl Islands where there's nothing there. And so it would actually not be good for him. But he's skipping blue, he's committing straight to the tower.
Can't fault him for it. Now it's just a matter of what's in the basement. Alright, first item, garbage. I can't wait for this basement to be nothing and for it to be E4.
That would be kind of hilarious, because it would mean that BadNewsNate is in 2 Elite Four seeds.
That would be a travesty. It'd be a little.
It'd be funny, but it'd be awful.
I'll restore. Every time you see that item ball disappear, your heart jumps for like the splittest of seconds.
Yeah, just take...
Like, is that gonna be it? Is that it? Nope.
Yeah, having full bags is bad for your heart, because you don't get that reaction when your bags aren't full.
Yeah, because then you just pick up everything. Yeah, like Dimnik said, an E4 seed could actually be what Nate needs at this point. So.
You think that, but honestly, I think if it's just a straight E4 seed, MisterHomes still wins, because the checks that he has to do before going to the Elite Four, because he's not going to go straight there, the checks that he has to do are still fast enough that he can do them and get to the Elite Four before Nate finishes the tower and underground, and then Nate's going to have to go finish off his check as well.
And yet there's nothing in the basement!
I think it's an Elite Four seed again. Wow.
Or blue.
Yeah,
or blue.
Blue is the other thing we haven't seen.
But it looks like Holmes is doing Misty first.
Which is probably smart.
It's smart for Holmes, and it gives Nate a little more time to catch up.
That's true, because Nate has done the Misty fight. So anything that that Holmes does that Nate has already done, gives Nate...
Which is mostly just Route 4 and Misty.
Yeah, I was going to say, the problem is that that's only 2 things. It's Route 4 and it's Misty.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to do blue before he does Route 4, but he's probably going to do Route 4 before he does the Elite.
Oh, I would do Route 4 before blue, personally. I think. I don't know.
I would do blue before Route 4, just because blue... At this level, blue's not a terribly hard fight.
It's so much easier to say what you would do and wouldn't do from this side.
It really is. Yeah, it absolutely is.
E4 into Rainbow Wing into HMO4 and Hive. Yeah, honestly, here's the thing. Something like that could happen. We could be here another hour and a half.
That could very easily happen. I don't think it would take an hour and a half.
No, it wouldn't. Especially because a lot of the checks at this point that open up aren't going to be battles.
No, it'd probably be like no more than half an hour to finish Red at that point.
Let me think here. Where would you get the battles? You'd have the battles at the beginning of Tin Tower.
Elite 4, obviously.
Elite 4. You have Cianwood.
And Claire's Gym. And that's pretty much
all of the Claire's Gym stuff. Yeah. So where did he fly to? I didn't do it.
Oh, he's doing blue.
He's doing.
Like I said, I would do blue before I do Route 4 because it's one fewer fight.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's a 1 in 3 chance that he's going to get what he needs here, and the other 2 in 3 means that he's going to have to do the Elite 4, and Nate is going to be in 2 different Elite 4 seeds. But let's see what blue has first. And again, you're going to do Route 4 before you do the Elite 4.
Another. Oh, that one.
No, that one had.
Thought he missed again for a second there. if blue ends up being nothing, right?
Right.
All right. So wait. Let me rephrase this. Okay. At this point, what checks does Nate have left to do? Blue, E4, what else? Anything else?
Ooh, good question.
Because I think that might be it.
I think it's blue and E4, yeah.
So if that's the case...
But he's got to get through all of Rocket Tower first.
Right, but he is on the last fight other than False Storm.
Okay.
So let's say Holmes does blue and it's nothing on blue, right? Then he does Route 4. Now, Nate could say, I'm going to do E4 before blue, because it would just be my luck to have 2 E4 seeds. And this could just quickly get a lot closer.
You're not wrong.
I'm not saying it's likely to happen, I'm just saying it could happen. I think Holmes is going to do Route 4 before...
Holmes is going to do Route 4 first, yeah. Nate, knowing perfect information, Nate, like, the correct move here is to completely skip the rest of this place, but he's not going to. He is going to skip False Director, though. He's like, I'm behind, we need to get this done, I'm not doing False Director, I'm going to...
Good call.
It's a good call.
Blue also had nothing.
It is a good call as long as he doesn't turn around and go right back up, which he might when he finds nothing down there.
I wouldn't.
Well, yeah, but that's because we know that it's not the correct...
No, I know, but like... At that point, you committed to skipping. Also, I forgot that he needs to do this fight. So.
Yeah, but this fight's level 7, so it's just going to be annoying. There's absolutely no risk in it. It's just as fast as possible.
Yeah, plus Holmes has this fight in the other route, so... Yeah, I think it's going to come down to where does Nate go after this basement? Does he go back up to False Director? Does he go to blue? Does he say, go E4?
It's going to come down to that, and it's also going to come down to the order of the last couple of items. Because if it's the Hive Badge first, Nate is in a lot of problems. But if it's the Rainbow Badge, into Whirlpool, into the Squirt Bottle check, into Strength, into the Hive Badge, then he's got, like, more time to make up that time.
I still think that...
Yeah, I threw in the Squirt Bottle check because this seed, man.
I still think Nate could end up saving a little bit of time.
I think after this, Nate is going to do the exact same thing he did last seed, where he goes, if it's on blue, this match is already over, I'm going Elite Four.
Which, if he makes that call, then that's going to help him out.
Well, the blue fight wouldn't be very long, especially because, again, he's got a Swords Dancing Physical Kingdra. He's going to be able to stomp through that fight really fast. Yeah. It's just how quickly he can get through this Rocket Underground more than anything else.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's just a lot of walking. Like, it's not even the battles of Rocket Underground that's going to slow him down. It's that he has to walk so much and do the puzzle in the first ring. Oh yeah, absolutely. If its Strength is the first item, Holmes may still get, like, rocket ahead by making the correct decision in terms of which Strength check to go to first. Like, that's entirely possible.
I mean, in my mind, it's not an argument. If I found Strength at this point, the very first thing I would be doing is Ice Path. Ice Path, do the Route 45 stuff. Just go all the way there. Nate, saving at the beginning of basement there, that's going to save him a little bit of time. Yeah, I guess a little bit of time.
Yeah,
but,
so
Holmes is on his way to E4.
The biggest number of checks that will open up is if they find Strength. Like, Strength is the largest single number of checks in terms of different places you can go. Because, like, if you're on a Rainbow Wing, yeah, that's 15 checks, but they're all
in one place.
Yeah. The other thing is, actually, Nate can still like slingshot himself back into either competitive or in the lead because MisterHomes hasn't done the rival fight here yet.
Yeah. That's going to help Nate catch up a little more, too.
Yeah, so Nate needs to make the read right now to skip blue and go to the Elite Four. If he does, I think he's ahead, actually, crazily enough. If he doesn't and goes to blue, he's not super far behind, but he's still behind.
Let's see what Nate does here.
He's going to check the plane badge check first.
All right, you know, don't fault him. Totally logical.
No, that's what I would have done.
Yep. Is he going false director? He's going false director. No!
Yeah, that was a concern.
No! Nate, no!
I would probably have done the exact same thing, just because I feel
man.
like, okay, it's definitely this thing that I didn't do.
Oh, man.
That said, he's still going to stomp through the false director pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to take him long, but I think you're right. If he didn't do false director and went for E4 here, he would have been ahead.
Oh, he would have been ahead because he'd already be in there fighting the first Elite Four member.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because he can just fly straight there. Yeah.
Exactly. So the other thing that I expect is if he goes straight to the Elite Four, he's probably going to be about a fight to a fight and a half behind MisterHomes, depending on how quickly they get in to do the fights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I think the Kingdra might have a faster Elite Four. Not by much, because the pincer is still very strong, but I think the Kingdra, like, with its type coverage, would probably still have a faster Elite Four, so he might be able to make up a little bit of time there.
Alright. I'm gonna start keeping track of time. So Holmes entered the E4 at 2:14:46. I'm curious at what time Nate enters and what time each of them enters.
Yeah. I don't think the King's going to have an explicitly, like, blazing fast E4 due to specifically Swords Dance, because I don't think that there's going to be much that can stand up to the pincer. Like, the pincer's still going to one-shot most everything. But so is the Kingdra. The Kingdra's also going to one-shot most everything, so... Yeah, like, this is not over until we know the arrangement of those last couple of items. Oh, he's doing blue first.
Oh, no, Nate, no!
Alright, so he's probably going to be three-ish fights behind. Like, objectively, these are the right decisions. In terms of, like, what he knows and what checks he has available in terms of what is fast and how many fights are between him and each check. He still needs to do this pretty quickly and get to the Elite Four. He can probably be two and a half Elite Four fights behind, which is a lot. That's half the Elite Four. But he can still, like, be within spitting distance, and if the seed opens back up again with that strength find, then he still has a chance. Like, the big thing is, Nate needs to have strength come before the hive badge, and then once the strength opens the seed up, Nate needs to make the correct guess as to where the hive badge is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate is only half an Elite Four behind. That's not very much, right?
It's about, 4 minutes or so. Honestly, I don't even think he's going to be 4 minutes. I think it's going to be closer to about...
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, like I said, Holmes entered at 2:14:46. Nate has one more Pokemon to take out, and then he's flying straight there. I don't think he's even doing shopping. I think he's good on items. So, I think he just goes straight up.
Yeah, I think you're right. If Drillpeck Aerodactyl is Red's lead, then I think Nate wins this seed just by the nature of the seed. But, I mean, it's not entirely out of the question. I was doing a seed recently in which I ran the Lugia, which I got at like 35 minutes, the whole seed. And then Red's lead was a Machamp with Vital Pearl.
Alright, so let's... Oh, Nate is doing some shopping. It's alright. Better to spend a little bit of time doing a little bit of shopping than to get in there and...
Get the forward swords and go.
Yep.
That's all he's doing.
Wow, so you know what's funny? Nate entered at basically exactly 3 minutes later, 2:17:45.
That's kind of funny.
So Nate is about 3 minutes behind. Now it's a matter of how far behind will Nate be exiting.
Saint Kilda, if that happens, this seed is going to go on forever.
If that happens, you know,
Also,
get comfy.
that's flamethrower, and it's giving Mr. Holmes some problems.
That's what Nate needs. Wow, that was a bad crit. Yeah, wow.
Also,
this flamethrower's hurting.
Missing his hyper beams.
Except for that one. That one hit.
Yeah, he got that one finally.
Still, every little bit helps Nate at this point.
Yep.
Oh, pits are being frozen.
He's still got
another one. You know, it only takes like 4 seconds to use a full restore, but it helps Nate get a little more caught up.
Yeah, so what if Red's lead is that Zapdos again? Actually, it probably wouldn't have flamethrower because of level up moves. Well,
if that lead was Zapdos with a flamethrower, Holmes would be in a lot of trouble.
He'd be in
I think at that point, that's when you catch something.
You either catch something or you just load up your Golduck with steroids to the gills and hope.
Yeah.
So, at this point, we've got to go ahead and finish going through the Elite Four. This is going to take a little bit. We've already basically talked about what their next step is going to be. Once they get in here, there's only 2 items that open up. There is the vanilla SS Hand ticket, and there is the vanilla Rainbow Wing.
Can they even do the vanilla Rainbow Wing ticket without the... Yeah, I guess they can.
Yeah, they can. They need the clear bell to get in.
Yeah, okay.
The clear bell to get in, and the Rainbow Wing to make the stairs appear.
Okay. That was something where I never actually bothered to learn exactly what it was that each item individually. I just know both.
Yeah, that's what it is. The Rainbow Wing gets you in the door, and the
clear bell gets you in the door.
Yeah, sorry, the clear bell gets you in the door. The Rainbow Wing opens up the staircase. And the only reason I know that is because in Key Item Randomizer, when you get the Rainbow Wing check, there's that shake, nothing happens, and then the guy says, "Now go," and it's like, oh, that's the staircase appearing.
Yeah. All right.
Karen was not nice, which is kind of hilarious.
All right, let's see how Nate does on that Zapdos. Zapdos.
He's gonna do fine. The Zapdos.
Oh yeah.
Zapdos
pretty much no issue. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's because it's flamethrower against a Kingdra. It's not gonna do anything.
No, I was using the side beam even.
It's quad resist, yeah. So he's not gonna use flamethrower. So he uses side beam instead. Again, the nice thing about Kingdra is that there's only 2 moves that are actually remotely dangerous to you: Dragon Breath and Outrage.
Yeah. I was gonna say Ice Beam, but not really even Ice Beam.
Nope, it's a neutral hit.
Yeah.
Water resist ice.
No, yeah.
You only have 1 weakness as a Kingdra, and it's Dragon.
What about, so, again, I'm really bad at knowing type chart. Dragon resists Electric?
Yes. Dragon resists the 4 starting types, if you count Pokemon Yellow.
Okay, so Electric, Grass, Fire. Okay.
Yes, that's the easy way to remember it.
That, you know what, that is an easy way to remember that. I will try to remember it.
Yep, because it was originally designed to be the boss, quote-unquote, type, so it's going to resist your 4 starting types.
That makes sense. I mean, after all, we know how many Dragonites Lance had.
Yeah, we don't talk about Lance and Dragonites.
Yeah, also, weren't those Dragonites, like, illegal levels or something?
Yes, it's like, Lance, we investigated a machine that makes Pokemon evolve before they're ready, and now you have a bunch of underleveled Dragonites. What's going on?
We have a search warrant.
Why? Yeah.
So, we're not saying it, but Holmes is struggling a tiny bit. Nate is on the same fight.
Nate's on the same fight, yeah.
Like, that is the difference in this Kingdra.
Yeah, Nate has made up a fight and a half worth of time. Just because
Holmes is still ahead, but it's a lot closer.
Yep. So while they wrap this up, I do want to kind of share one funny thing. We're a little out of time, but my favorite thing in the world was the story of a couple of streamers who were doing some randomized yellow games. and they started up a race, and the Pikachu was a Gengar with Earthquake. And the Eevee for the rival fight was a Zapdos with Body Slam. Those were the only two attacking moves. The Gengar couldn't hit the Zapdos because all it had was Earthquake.
Yeah.
And Struggle... no, I'm sorry, I've got those backwards. The Zapdos couldn't hit the Gengar because it only had Body Slam, and Struggle in Gen 1 is normal type. There's the Squirt Bottle.
Is he going to be on the Squirt Bottle check?
It very well might be. I would check that first, yeah. So the Zapdos can't hit the Gengar because Struggle is normal type in Gen 1, and the Zapdos can't hit, and the Gengar can't hit the Zapdos because it only had Earthquake, and there's infinite PP for opponent fights in Gen 1. They literally soft locked on the first battle and had to roll up another seed.
That's beautiful. Wow, look at that Sudowoodo. I mean, Houndour.
Alright, let's see what this is. It's the Rainbow Wing check. Unless they both mismarked something, it's the Rainbow Wing check. This is honestly just nuts. Nate is through the Elite Four.
224. So, yeah, Nate entered 3 minutes behind, but left the E4 only a minute and 25. So he made up half of his time.
Yeah, no, Nate picked up like an entire fight and a half worth of Elite Four. Like, he trucked it through there because the Pinsir just struggled. Alright, Dark, let's see if you've got your vanilla Rainbow Wing.
At this point, the biggest place that Nate's going to be able to make up time is either going to be in getting to choose different checks, such as this being strength, or the red fight itself. Like,
yep, those are the only two places he can make up time at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to have any issues at this point with these checks. Like, you're not.
He also might be able to make up just the tiniest amount of time on these 3 fights before the 10 tower.
I don't think so.
No, I was about to say, but that requires the Pinsir to struggle with it, and I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, I don't think the Pinsir's going to struggle. I mean, I am hard-pressed to think about how the Pinsir would struggle, short of someone literally just trolling with Protect or something.
Yeah, or even, no, it wouldn't even be that, because it would troll the same way. The only way it would work is if Holmes sort of dead brains it and decides, I'm going to Hyper Beam everything, and then misses Hyper Beam a lot. She's not going to.
Even if he hits Hyper Beam, if he does it on the first Pokemon.
Yeah.
Then, he has to wait for it.
Darkrit brings up a good point, though, that BadNewsNate's setup is just straight up faster than MisterHomes. Like, Swords Dance versus Sharpen X Attack, he's going to make up a little bit of time there on the red fight. Swords Dance is actually a lot faster than X Attacks, both because of the fact that you only need to do 3 of them, but also because the sound effect for using an X Attack is actually fairly long.
Hi, Porygon 2. Why did the Raikou not run off for...
I've seen that happen a bunch of times. I don't know what causes it, but sometimes one or both of the dogs just will stick around. I've
never seen that before.
I've seen it happen a lot. I just don't know why.
Oh.
Oh, if you have one of them, they stay. He's caught a Raikou.
There's the Hive Badge.
That's bad. Well, I mean, it's good, but it's bad for Nate.
That means that there were a lot of things in that behind that Mount Silver.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Strength, Rainbow Wing. Oh my goodness. Whirlpool. We're in endgame though. Now the question is will Holmes struggle on red? That is what Nate needs. Or that setup is gonna be... Why is he going to Goldenrod?
He's got a shop.
Oh, I think Nate already did his X item shop now.
Nate's been sitting on his X items from the beginning, but I think Mr. Holmes wants some X accuracies because he's missed so many things.
Right, but what I'm getting at is Nate might actually get to red first because of the shopping.
I don't...
Maybe not first, but it's definitely gonna... It's down to the red fight.
Yeah,
this is gonna be so close.
BadNewsNate is still going to be behind because he has to go talk to Oak still, but he's very close.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
He sold his X attacks because he has Sharpen. Yeah, he bought the TM hoping it was Swords Dance. It was Sharpen, and he taught it anyways, and he's been using it, so it works.
This is gonna be so close.
Yep, Nate is on his way to Oak, and then he's probably going to just go straight to Mount Silver.
Yep. I wonder, actually, you know, Holmes flew to Viridian and then biked left. Is it faster to fly to E4 at that point and bike down?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, it depends on how the red fight goes. Could win or lose the race for either of them because they're so close. But Holmes has the advantage, and it's a giraffe rig. Unless this thing has something super dangerous, it's probably fine. The fact that he's using Present is not great for Nate, but at the same time, Present is one of those weird moves where it can have just a totally random base power, and if he crits the really high-level base power, then it could kill.
Oh, it also has Ember, though. He's burned. He's down. This just became even closer. Oh my goodness.
Almost simultaneously.
Yeah, pretty much. Nate using a Calcium. Max Elixir, full healing, saving. This is gonna be so close now.
Yeah,
that burn on the Ember might have cost Holmes.
Holmes has got to get his setup this time. And honestly, I think Nate is still going to have the faster setup.
Yeah. Oh no, Holmes is burned again.
The Giraffe Rig also has Hyper Fang. What is this Giraffe Rig?
Hyper Fang, Present, Ember. What's your last move, friend?
I mean, at this point, I don't even think we need to call anything else. We can just let this play out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything too much to play out there to say. Other than place your bets in chat.
Yeah, it's down to the wire, folks.
I am starting to think this is going to be for Nate, though.
I kind of agree. He's at +6. He's already set up. He's
moving. He's attacking.
He's going for a sweep.
Oh my god, that Present almost killed him, though.
I told you, Present can have a base power up to, like, I think 120. Like, it can be...
Heal. Oh, no! Oh!
He's fine! He's a Kingdra! Now he's gonna heal.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? That was a little risky.
I can't believe Ember is what's tripping up Mr. Holmes.
Yeah. Ember... Boy, we had said something about fire on that pincer, but that is unfortunate. Wow. This... do you know what the closest match has been so far in this tournament?
I think we had one that was separated out by 5 seconds, but I'm not sure. That might have been just...
I think that was the last time
that happened, or last time. Like,
Nate is like one Pokemon ahead.
The pincer is physically stronger, but the...
Just give it to Nate. Nate's done.
Oh my god.
Wow!
And Nate has done. BadNewsNate wins this race with a time of 2 hours and 32 minutes and 22 seconds.
Oh my god. Holmes isn't even gonna finish? No, Holmes isn't
gonna... No, he's gonna try and finish. He's saying so in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, finish. Finish, Holmes. Oh! That was insane. This Heracross had zeros. Oh no, Kingdra. 5 special, 12 attack. So good physical. And that's good because he was running a mostly physical too.
He was. So it looks like we have BadNewsNate getting ready to join us for an interview.
Oh boy. Hi, Nate.
Oh boy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hi.
welcome, Nate.
Hello.
That was close.
That was insane.
I had no idea it was that close.
You were second to reach red.
Oh, I see.
However, Holmes' main is weak to the Ember on the level 81 Giraffe.
Oh. What was he
And
running,
that-
if I may ask?
The
Pincer.
Pincer. Oh, so he was running probably the level 50 then, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He found a Golduck when you found your Kingdra and was running that for a little bit and then swapped over to the Pincer.
Oh, is that also in Vermilion Harbor?
Yeah, there was all
Yeah.
there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I forgot what other encounter it was that I saw.
I think the Golduck was actually in the port, but it's the same idea.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I saw the moveset on the Kingdra and I was like, wow, I finally get to run a Swords Dance Pokemon. And then I realized, oh, the moves that it has, Drill Peck and Low Kick, it was absolutely incredible. So I was like, I absolutely could make a very good run with this, especially a male Kingdra as well, where it has higher physical attack DB as opposed to special.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that you were the second to reach red, but between the Ember and the fact that your Swords Dance setup was just so much faster, you were the first to start sweeping.
Yeah, basically for the most part, Swords Dance, it's an instant +2 physical attack, so it was free setup basically for the most part when I had X speeds and X defense. I thought I was actually going to die to the Blastoise because it had extreme speed, but I forgot I'd set up some X defense for it.
Yeah, I noticed the X defense, so the extreme speed happened, and Rob was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "It's fine, it's a Kingdra."
Yeah, and not to mention, again, I had 2 X defense on my main, so it was actually fine.
Yeah,
It was hard for us to notice exactly what items both of you were using, though, because both of you were setting up at the same time. That was stressful.
it
was.
It was just completely nuts. But we were watching the entire time. You were behind.
Pretty much. Oh, for a while.
You were behind pretty much from like when you made the decision to go to Lower Kanto after finding your Kingdra, and MisterHomes went to Upper Johto. Like you were pretty much behind from that point on.
Well, the thing is, as well, is that I did not want to stick with the Raikou that I found. I will say the Raikou was actually very good. It had Stab, Thunder Punch, and Surf early on, but I wanted to try to find something better. I, again, was trying to find encounters in Familiar Harbor, and then I was like, oh, no, not this again, where I couldn't find anything there. And then I was like, oh, a Kingdra. Neat. It was level 37, so I was very satisfied with the main.
Well, real fast, welcome, MisterHomes. Commiserations to you. That was an amazing race.
Yeah, it must have been. I think my main did me in there, but I just could not find anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
'cause you reached red first.
yeah, you reached red. You reached red both times first. You started your second encounter after the first wipe, before BadNewsNate got there. So it was very close.
Yeah, it must have been. I mean, just I kept getting burnt, and that really did not help.
No, and then Nate had found when surfing in Vermilion, he found a Kingdra with Swords Dance, Low Kick, and
Drill Peck.
Drill Peck. Yes, thank you.
GG.
That being said, though, Holmes, you were ahead for most of the race.
You were ahead right up until trying to set up on red.
Yeah.
Yeah, from like the word go until red, you were ahead. Unfortunately, it was just that last little bit that you just couldn't make it.
Right, yeah, I took the time to buy an X accuracy I had to use, and then I didn't even use it, but at that time it didn't even matter.
And another thing I want to bring up as well during this race is I hit 2 optionals throughout the course of the race, and I'm like, what is going on with my movement? It's very uncharacteristic of me to hit 2 optionals that I usually avoid during races.
Yeah, Glacial had mentioned that, and I was just like, well, maybe it's just nerves getting Nate? I don't know.
Well, that, and also, I'm going to be honest, I do have a slight headache, but I was able to just kind of just weather through the race.
It happens sometimes.
So just to double check this, because I think I remember hearing this when we were discussing at the beginning. Mr. Holmes, did you only start doing these races last month?
I don't even think I've really done I've maybe done one unofficial race, but I've been playing like one of these like every day. And I've been talking to a couple people and watching some people to try and pick things up. So
I can tell you this. You did really, really well.
Yeah,
for
Mr.
someone
Holmes,
who really hasn't done too much of this.
yeah, he gave me all that he can handle during this race and then some, and I have nothing but respect for Mr. Holmes. It was a great race. I had a lot of fun.
I genuinely thought I was watching 2 veterans at this game race each other. Like, it was that close.
Also, what was this item pool? So, no strength, no whirlpool, no rainbow wing. What was going on?
Yeah, so about that, I was hoping that I was either going to find strength or whirlpool, thinking that, we would potentially have to go to Whirl Islands or maybe Claire's Gym in the process, but this is probably one of the wildest ROMs that I've played ever, I'll be honest.
That was odd.
The other really painful thing was the Silver Wing was like the 4th item you guys picked up. We were talking like, if they find Whirlpool and Surf, they can go get the level 60, and that might be a thing. And then it just refused to show up anywhere. I'm going to check and see if I can figure out where those were. Give me a moment.
Can I also point out one more thing also? I went into this entire ROM without a single rare candy. Like, I know there was a rare candy on the shiny, but I did not pick up a single rare candy throughout the entire run.
I think that's the only one that ever appeared.
I thought I saw 2. I feel like Surge might have had one, but I'm not positive.
And I think Surge had I think it was full heal, I believe. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but that was something else that me and Glacial noticed was around I don't know. I think it was around when both of you were doing hideouts or so. I was like, honestly, we're talking about their level of their main. Where are all the rare candies? Because normally you get 5 or so by the time you're at red. And you guys just had 9. I think, honestly, if you had just had a couple more rare candies, that could have made the difference for the race.
Yeah, I think for sure. I want to say rare candies also can be in the hidden item pool, if I remember correctly. So it could be also that, too.
They can. Okay, guys, so check this. I just looked. You found... The last item you found was your Hive badge, which was cut access.
Mm-hmm.
Strength was on Route 32 Roar Dude. The Whirlpool was the Celadon City Gym badge, and your Rainbow Wing was in the Whirl Islands.
Oh, so we had to beat Erica, we had to talk to the guy for the Roar TM, and then we had to... well, yeah. I don't know. It was a very interesting ROM, to say the least. It was something.
Oh, yeah, that was something.
Yeah,
probably the most hype match I've seen so far this tourney.
It was an amazing race. Just out of the sake of curiosity, I want to know what the Lugia was.
Yeah, I'm curious to know as well, because we had Silver Wing early, as you mentioned, and then we never had access to Whirl Island, so it's going to be very interesting to see what the Lugia was. And I can also say for the folks in the SpeedGaming chat, what are your calls for the 60? I think it's going to be a Larvitar.
I'm
going to go ahead and go with Shuckle.
Also, I want to go ahead and let the chat know, the people who were like, that's not Mewtwo, that's Parasect, you are correct, that was a Parasect.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I didn't catch the Raikou cry, because I had Raikou in my party.
It was a Magby.
It was Magby, okay. I wasn't paying attention too much to the cries, because, again, I was running the Kingdra.
Oh my god.
So an interesting thing that came up with both of you ended up, you got an early main, but then you guys both kind of swapped over to Raikou.
Yeah, Raikou was like the best thing. The thing about that Raikou is that I got a random encounter in Sprout Tower right where the Rotator Elder is, and yeah, it just popped up out of nowhere. I had Surf, and it came with Stab Thunder Punch, so
Yeah.
I said, why not?
Yeah, no, you found it. You caught the first one you found. Holmes found 2, I believe. The first one, unfortunately, died to a crit, but the second one, right?
Ooh.
Yep, and then he, not very long after that, swapped over to a Ghastly, actually, because he found it surfing. Anyways, I have the Lugia. What was you guys' guess again?
Boba Fett.
Shuckle.
I guess Larvitar.
In terms of how good it is, the Shuckle's probably the closest guess. It was a Ditto.
Oh.
Hey! Don't hate on Ditto.
Hey, in other words,
what you want.
In other words, our guesses were all correct. Ditto could transform into any Pokemon.
Not in Randomizer. Probably doesn't know Transform.
I've never heard of such a thing.
But yeah, no, this was such a good race. It really was.
Other than, with the exception of the big difference being that Holmes went on to Upper Johto and Nate staying in Kanto, you guys kept doing similar checks for the most part at the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see this race when it's highlighted after this is all over. Because I'm very interested in seeing what happened.
Yeah, so one thing I will say that we kept track of is when you guys entered E4 and left E4. So, Holmes, you entered Elite Four 3 minutes ahead of Nate, but left E4 only a minute.
You only about a minute and 20
Sounds
minutes.
about right.
So yeah, that was the difference between the Kingdra and the Pinsir, was about a minute and a half. And I think a lot of that came down to the flamethrower Pokemon we were dealing with.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah,
unfortunate
that one was
as well.
so annoying. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Nate, that Zapdos
Zapdos.
was through that had Psybeam. It also had Flamethrower.
Oh, I see.
And he was running a Pinsir, so
Yeah, about that.
yeah.
Still, Mr. Holmes, that was absolutely amazing. Like, I don't want anybody to think that wasn't a fantastic run from both of these guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure, Mr. Holmes. You, like I said, you gave me all that you can handle. And again, don't discourage yourself. You're definitely a worthy adversary, and I commend you for giving me a tough challenge. So I wish you the best of luck in your second match in the tournament against Rollin, because I know you can do it. I really know you can.
And it'll be interesting if Holmes does beat Rollin, because then we have a
Three-way tie!
three-way tie.
I know, and make it more competitive.
Yeah, and I don't quite know how those get broken. I imagine it would just be.
It is I do know how those get broken. So for anybody who's curious, a three-way tie is a three-way race between the runners first two to finish move on.
Yeah, I figured.
Seems simple enough.
Yeah.
All right, do either of you guys have anything else you guys want to know or ask or talk about?
I don't think there's really anything else. I'm thankful for a great race from Mr. Holmes. So I really hope he does well in the next race against Rollin, like I said.
So do I.
Yeah, I mean, I feel, I'm pretty sad, but I feel okay. Like, I feel that I play to my capabilities, and then there are just a couple inexperienced things just here and there. So are the zones in Vermilion Surf and inside the SS Aqua Harbor different?
Yes. I believe they are, yes.
Yeah, because the one thing I would do differently is I tried surfing in Vermilion first, and I wasn't getting anything. And I was like, oh, rather than going in circles, I'll just surf in the harbor. But I could have put on Sweet Scent because we had that. And had that happen, then maybe I got the Kingdra and who knows. But these are just like tiny things. But
yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, what I really care about were there any good memes? That's what I'm really interested in.
Same.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. I mean, I think just the fact of missing all those items that we.
Yeah,
was
that
pretty good.
yeah, that alone is a meme on its own. That's pretty bizarre.
Yeah, also the fact that you guys had 10 badges at the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say reaching a point where the only items you needed left were Hive badge and badge.
Yeah, and I thought to myself when I saw Hive and Plane left, that I thought to myself, oh, we're not going to be checking something here because those two badges have HM capabilities, Hive badge being cut and Plane badge being strength.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, maybe, you know what, we're going to get strength and then Plane badge will probably be our last badge. Oh, boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, Morty not being a scam for once.
Yeah.
So both
yeah,
of you,
that's a good meme. Okay,
both of you put off Morty pretty late.
And then you went to it at approximately the same time as well, which is also funny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nate, I actually did have one more question for you.
Sure.
Any particular reason delaying False Director?
The reason being that I was delaying False Director was because usually, with my experience doing ROMs like this, False Director usually does not have a check that either is required or just doesn't have a check that is not a key item whatsoever. So that's why I was like, maybe I was second guessing myself. I did Basement right immediately after I did all the rockets and Radio Tower. So that's why I just decided to do Basement, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's just check False Director just for the heck of it.
Yeah, because you had finished the Basement, and I think at that point you only had E4, False Director, and Blue left.
Yeah,
and I was just screaming. It wasn't screaming, but I was like, go straight to E4. Go straight to E4.
Well, my logic in all this is that sometimes, like, I don't want to do Elite Four immediately without having to know, like, all of my checks in the overworld, basically.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I held off E4 for as long as I did.
Makes sense. Also, now 2 for 2, Nate, on E4 required ROMs, huh?
Oh boy, don't remind me.
I think what you have to do is lean into it and just do E4 stupid early next time.
You know, the irony in all this, here, check this out. In the race time chat, remember how I mentioned, just as a joke to MisterHomes, I went like, oh, I promise I won't do E4 early, smile. Boy, the joke was on me.
I forgot you said that as well.
I spoke it into existence, gentlemen.
Oh, I didn't forget.
So it's your fault.
That's the bad news. But it's...
All right. Well, I think that is going to be everything then. Unless you guys have anything else you want to say before we wrap this up.
I'll let you go ahead first, Mr. Holmes.
Oh man. Well, I'm just happy I put forward a good performance. So, I mean, side note, is this like not the group of death? Like, seriously.
Theoretically, probably not, to be honest.
It's 3 very strong runners, but
yeah.
Like with a performance like that, like I can see anybody getting out of this group.
Yeah. It's anybody's ball game at that point. But one thing I do want to point out is, again, I want to say thank you to my community for coming out to the SpeedGaming channel, for those that have supported me, not only when I do Pokemon Crystal Randos, but just in general during this tournament, and supporting all the runners. And yeah, you guys stay tuned to all the SpeedGaming channels, and stay tuned for future matches, you guys.
Right, Rob, do you have anything you want to say before I sign us out?
Like I had said, by far the best match I've seen so far this tourney. That was an epic race. You guys both did very well, and both of you should be proud of that race.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't have it any other way, guys.
Yeah, I'm still shaking. So with that, I think we're all done. So the first thing I want to say is thank you to everybody who has helped make this stream possible. Thank you to our tracker, Ethan26. Thank you to the people who have helped set up the stream, done the cropping for the restream, done everything that was necessary in order to make sure that this made it onto SpeedGaming for you guys to enjoy. I want to thank Rob the Gamer for helping me commentate. And I want to thank BadNewsNate and I want to thank MisterHomes for putting on a fantastic race today. Please, if you guys are watching and you have the interest in anybody here, please go out and give absolutely everybody who was part of this a follow. That's Ethan, that's Nate, that's Rob, that's MisterHomes, absolutely everybody. With that in mind, we are going to wrap it up. Thank you so much to everybody who watched. Thank you so much to everybody who helped participate. And thank you so much to our runners and to Rob. Have a nice night, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.